Chapter 1769. 1 Second to Remember. Love Divided by You? Reads Book Web. Updated quickly, no pop-up window, free to read. Sima Yue slept for a day and a night. Ting Shan and Ting Shui came in several times and found that there was no sign of her, so they immediately went to report to Murong Hui. Mu. A class equals __CF email _ref equals /CDNCGI/L email protection. Email protected. Found that Sima Yue's body had recovered a lot, and many of her injuries had been completely healed. Master Mrs. Body. Serve Miss well, and don't ask anything else. A class equals __CF email _ref equals /CDNCGI/L email protection. Email protected glanced at Ting Shui. Don't say anything, do you understand? Yes, master, we won't say anything. Ting Shan understood Murong Hui's eyes and pulled Ting Shui to kneel down. Ting Shui also quickly followed, indicating that she would not say anything. Remember, you're not allowed to tell anyone about the young lady. Do you remember clearly? He warned again. We know. The two responded. Take good care of Miss, and report to me if there is anything. Murong Hui left after speaking. Ting Shan and Ting Shui stood up from the ground. Ting Shui patted her chest and said, Why do I feel that there is still some difference between master and miss? You noticed it too? Ting Shan felt her legs go soft, and moved to the stool to sit down. Master used to dote on miss, but now it seems. Like what? I can't tell, but it seems to be a little respectful? It doesn't seem right. In short, it's different from before. It's weird. Ting Shui frowned. She really couldn't tell the feeling in her heart. It seems that you and I feel the same. Ting Shui said. Now master seems to love Miss too much. He doesn't dote on her enough, but he cares more about her. Yes, that's it. Ting Shui said. Ting Shan, tell me what's wrong with master and miss. Could it be that master is disappointed in young miss, because young miss was hunted down last time? What's going on isn't something we can guess. Ting Shan said. If we want to live, we shouldn't think so much. Just do whatever master and miss tell us to do. Don't ask or say anything. Do you understand? Yes. Master has already warned us twice about this. For the sake of our own lives, we can't tell anyone about Mississippi. Ting Shui nodded. It seems that master still has some lingering fears about the last time young miss was hunted down. Ting Shan looked at Sima Yue on the bed and murmured, Is this really the case? When Sima Yue woke up, it was already noon the next day. She moved her body and realized that her body was no longer in pain. She waved her right hand in front of her eyes and exclaimed in surprise. Am I seeing things? Or am I hallucinating? She waved her hand. That's right, it was her hand. But weren't her claws burnt earlier? How did they get better after a nap? She sat up and found that the injuries on her body were also healed. She was sure that it was not an illusion. Am I really okay? She checked and made sure that she had recovered. She still felt a little incredible. At first, she guessed that it might be because her physique was special. In the past, her injuries would heal automatically. But now she was only a soul body. Her abnormal physique was not brought over. Plus, she was injured last time. She took a long time to recover, which showed that it was not because of her physique. Then what was the reason? Little Z, do you know what's going on? She asked. What's going on? It's just that black bead. Little Z was playing by herself and casually answered. Little black bead? Sima Yue felt the quiet little black bead. Can this thing repair the injured body in addition to helping with cultivation? Maybe. Little Z said. I don't know who left this in atavistic Orchid Mountain. She was even more confused. How could such a good bead be placed in the hands of a stupid bird and wait for her for so many years? Did that person predict the future and know that she would appear here? Don't worry about it. You will know the truth when it's time. It's useless to guess until then. Little Z was open-minded. That's right. She decided not to worry about this issue. No matter who put it here, she benefited. She opened the door and went out. She happened to meet Ting Shan, who was about to come in. Seeing Sima Yue come out so quickly, she ran over and said, Miss, your injuries are not healed yet. Why did you come out? Well, I don't feel comfortable lying down. Sima Yue said. How long did I sleep? A day and a night. Her injuries were completely healed in a day and a night? She knew how serious her injuries were. She recovered so quickly. What was the origin of this little black bead? Where's my father? Master went to attend the youth meeting. Ting Shan said. Master came to see Miss before he left. He told Miss that you must have a good rest when you wake up. In order to not let Master worry, Miss, you should have a good rest. Well, I'm hungry. Go and tell the kitchen to get something to eat. Sima Yue said and turned back. Yes, this servant will go and serve Miss lunch. Sima Yue went back to the house and condensed her soul power. She set up a small enchantment at the door so that people outside could not open the door and come in. Fortunately, the enchantment is still the same. She looked at her results with satisfaction and flashed into the spirit pagoda. The spirit pagoda had changed a lot compared to before. At least it was no longer gray, but blue sky and white clouds. However, the exposed area was still very small. Half of the medicine field was exposed, half of the living area was exposed, and the wine cellar was in the exposed half. Little Spirit had not woken up yet, but she could feel that there was already spiritual power floating in the spirit pagoda. This way, the sleeping beasts could absorb the spiritual power to heal their injured bodies. Unfortunately, her father and Enlay had not come out yet. It seemed that she could only wait for her to advance. Now that I can't use these herbs, it won't be so convenient to refine pills in the future. She looked at the herbs and her heart was filled with emotions. She could go so far on the path of alchemy because of the spirit pagoda. Unfortunately, the spirit body was special and had stricter requirements for herbs. Most of the herbs could not be used to refine pills from the ghost realm. Only some ordinary herbs could be used again. However, it was not a problem to refine pills that the ghost realm wanted. She stayed in the spirit pagoda until she heard the commotion outside. She changed her clothes and went out to open the door for Ting Shan. Ting Shan saw that Sima Yue's clothes were different. She thought that she was just changing her clothes in the house, and did not say anything. Instead, she put the lunch on the table. Sima Yue just sat down. Before she could eat, she heard Gongzi Yuan's voice from afar. Chapter 1770. In 1 second, she remembered, Love Divided by You? Read, book, web, no pop-up window, free to read. Hey, you're still eating lunch? Gongzi Yuan ran in and saw the food on the table. He asked, Did you make this? No. Sima Yue looked at him and said, This is my room. Why did you come in so casually? What's wrong with this? Wasn't it like this before? Gongzi Yuan wanted to freeload some food, but when he heard that she didn't make it, he lost his appetite. He pulled a chair and sat opposite Sima Yue. Sima Yue was hungry, so she didn't care about him and started eating. Gongzi Yuan supported his chin and looked at her. Sima Yue was speechless from his stare and poked him with her chopsticks. Gongzi Yuan was shocked and dodged backward to avoid her attack. If you keep staring at me like this, I'll poke your eyes out. Sima Yue glared at him. She didn't really want to attack him just now, or else this guy wouldn't be able to dodge. Gongzi Yuan's face turned red and defended himself. Wasn't it like this before? Tell me, why are you here today? Isn't it the youth exchange? I didn't see you in the morning, so I came to ask if you want to go together in the afternoon? Gongzi Yuan said. What's there to see? Sima Yue said. Isn't it just a competition between some young people? It's not exciting. It's different this time. Gongzi Yuan said. The people who signed up this time are the geniuses among those people, so it's still worth watching. Sign up. Isn't it arranged by the various families? It used to be, but it's different this time. This time, even those rogue cultivators and those from other places can participate. Gongzi Yuan said. You know, those people must be ruthless to fight for this. So this competition is still worth watching. Why is it different this time? Sima Yue asked. For the city competition. Gongzi Yuan said. You don't know? Sima Yue shook her head. She had never cared about these things, so of course she did not know. Oh, you should have forgotten. Gongzi Yuan said. Didn't I tell you before that your father is actually a duke? You mean the competition between counties? Sima Yue guessed. Yes, Gongzi Yuan said. Every county belongs to the dynasty above them. Some resources are obtained from the dynasty, and the ranking of the counties will affect their status in the dynasty. Therefore, the city competition is very important. How is the strength of my father's county? He has been away from the county manor for so long. Will it affect him? Your prefectures are considered average in our dynasty, neither too high nor too low. But your mother's background is stronger, so you and your father's background are stronger as well. I heard that your mother and Wang Ye are biological siblings. Biological siblings? Then wouldn't this Wang Ye be mother's cousin? He wondered what kind of person this uncle of his was, and if he could find out some information about his mother. She was only excited for a moment before she suppressed this thought. She did not have any strength now. If she encountered something, how could she deal with it? She did not know how many people her mother had offended. She did not know who was trustworthy and who was not trustworthy in the ghost realm. Therefore, she did not dare to contact these people in the ghost realm. Well, when Godfather came back, she had to remind him to keep it a secret. Gongzi Yuan looked at Sima Yue, who was in a daze and did not speak. He waved his hand in front of her and said, "What are you thinking about? Do you want to go together in the afternoon?" Sima Yue wanted to say that she did not want to go, but she remembered that she had not helped Morong Hui to lure out the people who were chasing Morong Shi. She changed her mind and nodded. "Let me go after lunch." Ting Shan wanted to say that Master had instructed her not to go out, but she thought that it was said to her who was injured. Now that her injury was healed, there should be no need to remind her. Sima Yue did not eat much for lunch. Although this chef was specially found by Morong Hui for Morong Shi, his skills were still not good. After lunch, Gongzi Yuan couldn't wait to take her to the largest venue in Eternal Brilliance City. There was a wide enough dueling platform, and tens of thousands of spectator seats around. It was an important place for every major event. There was a rostrum in the middle of the audience. As soon as Sima Yue entered the venue, she saw Morong Hui sitting in the middle. Morong Hui was originally watching the battle in the arena. Suddenly he felt Sima Yue's aura. He looked up and saw her and Gongzi Yuan coming in together. Seeing his disapproving gaze, she smiled at him. "Uncle Hui seems a little angry," Gongzi Yuan said. "Probably afraid that I will cause trouble for him." Sima Yue smiled. "Sheer over here." Xiao Ruabai saw Sima Yue and Gongzi Yuan, and waved to her. Sima Yue walked over, and saw that Chao Chingan was also there. Mu Kaian, who had always been with them, was sitting far away in another group of young people. "I thought you weren't coming." Xiao Ruabai pulled her to sit beside her. "Why didn't you come in the morning?" "I overslept," Sima Yue said. "Are there any interested contestants?" "There are several," Chao Chingan said. "Really? Who are there?" "The first one is of course me," Chao Chingan said narcissistically. "Narcissistic guy." Gongzi Yuan slapped him on the head. "Boss, I will be beaten stupid by you." Chao Chingan covered his head and protested. Sima Yue raised her eyebrows. Chao Chingan called her boss so smoothly. It seemed that their side won the last competition. Don't look at how narcissistic Chao Chingan is. His strength is still good. He should be able to enter the top 10 in this competition, Xiao Ruabai said. "Can I participate in the city competition if I enter the top 10? Sima Yue turned her head and asked. "Yes." Xiao Ruabai nodded. "I was quite confident in the Xiao family's children before, but now it seems that it is uncertain. Aren't you going to participate?" "We will go directly to the city competition." Sima Yue smiled. Although she didn't know the strength of the Gongzi family and the Xiao family, looking at the temperament of Gongzi Yuan and Xiao Ruabai and the strength they showed in the atavistic Orchid Mountain, combined with their age, she should have guessed that their family should be very strong. Just as she was about to turn back, she felt a gaze full of killing intent wrapped around her. When she looked over, she found that there were crowds everywhere. She didn't know who was looking at her. "What's wrong?" Xiao Ruabai saw her looking around and asked. "I just feel that someone is looking at me." Sima Yue didn't find any suspicious people and looked back at Xiao Ruabai. This is the first time you have appeared in such a public place after being hunted down. It is normal to be watched, Xiao Qinggan said. Not that kind, Sima Yue said. I will send you back with Gongzi Yuan in a while. Xiao Ruobai understood what she meant and suggested. Chapter 1771. In 1 second, she remembered, Love Divided by You? Read book web no pop-up window free to read. Sima Yue smiled. Neither agreed nor refused. Let's watch the competition first. She pouted her lips towards the arena. The next duel had already begun. Well, let's watch first. Xiao Ruobai said. Gongzi Yuan, you can go back and report their strength. If you don't do well, you will be punished. This guy is here to pry for information? You are a traitor. Xiao Qinggan looked at Gongzi Yuan in shock. He knew that he came from a big family, but he didn't expect that he was not from their county. Didn't you call him boss? You don't know anything about him, Xiao Ruobai said, and then said to Sima Yue. This guy is from the neighboring county. Don't say that. I'm not a traitor. Your county's cities compete among themselves. Gongzi Yuan said. Besides, these people can't be compared to our county. In the final competition, these people can't go up. His words were full of contempt for these people. You said there is a county competition above the city competition? Sima Yue asked. Yes. There is also a competition between the dynasties above the county competition. Those who can win the dynasty will be personally received by the Ghost King and vigorously cultivated by the Ghost Clan. Of course, those who come out of the county competition will be cultivated by the dynasty, and those who come out of the city competition will be cultivated by the county, Gongzi Yuan said. That's really a long competition. Sima Yue sighed. In fact, it's not bad. The city competition, county competition, and the competition between the dynasties are separated by a year. This year's city competition, next year's county competition, and the year after the year's competition between the dynasties. Xiao Ruobai continued, so these people can recuperate during this time, and can further improve their strength. Sima Yue understood. No wonder these people were so desperate. Whether it was in the human realm or the ghost realm, the resources for cultivation were not so sufficient. If they could be valued and cultivated, it meant that they did not have to worry about resources in the future, and their future glory could be imagined. Poof! Because there was no life and death limit in the competition, the people on the stage directly stabbed their opponents to death. The winner was a member of the Mu clan, and the one who died was a rogue cultivator. Sima Yue looked at the man's widened eyes, and felt a little sad. He had only wanted to seek a better future, but he had lost his life when he had just embarked on the journey. Soon, someone came to pull the corpse away. The person from the Mu clan happily waved at the people present. Without strength, without background, in this world, there is nothing, she muttered. This world has always been such an unfair one. If today's matter was reversed and the Mu clan's people were killed, this rogue cultivator would not be able to survive. Similarly, if he was a disciple of a large clan, others would have spared his life out of fear of the power behind him. If this person is miserable, it would be better to say that his birth is too tragic. Xiao Ruobai also lamented. The way of the world. Sima Yue narrowed her eyes. I don't want to watch anymore. Do you want to continue? You've just arrived and you're already going back. Sima Yue asked. I'm not interested. She got up and said. You can continue watching. Her purpose of coming here was to draw out the people behind her. Now that her purpose had been achieved, the other party knew that she was still alive, and would definitely reveal themselves. So there was no need for her to stay here any longer. I'll go back with you. Xiao Ruobai also got up. If someone was really watching you just now, it's too dangerous for you to go back alone. Gongzi Yuan also stood up. His meaning was obvious. He wanted to go with her. Xiao Qinggan looked at the three of them, and wondered if they should go together. You just stay here and watch. When the time comes, tell us the results of today. Gongzi Yuan subconsciously did not want Xiao Qinggan to join them. He did not want to share Sima Yue's secret with more people now. How did he tell Xiao Ruobai at the beginning? He felt that his brain must have gone haywire. Sima Yue left the venue with the two of them. Shortly after they left, some people also quietly left. Soon after, a shout came from an ordinary house. She's not dead? Yes, boss. The people we sent had seriously injured her and forced her down the cliff. How could she survive without spiritual power to protect her body? Is the news from the beginning confirmed? The news sent back by our people before they were killed did say so. But what this subordinate saw today is also true. Morongshi is really still alive. Boss, the higher-ups indicated that we must kill Morongshi. We have already reported the news. If we know that she is not dead now, we can't report it. Another person said. With her temper, I'm afraid we can't escape death. The boss's voice trembled a little. He was very afraid of the people behind him. Boss, what we can do now is to kill Morongshi. Even if the higher-ups know, we can be considered to have atoned for our crimes. In this way, we can still get our lives back, right? The boss pondered for a while and said, this is the only way now. Gather the brothers from other places. We will find an opportunity to make a move. Boss, if we want to make a move, it's best to do it at the youth exchange. Moronghui will be busy at this time. Go and check the news first. Yes, boss. After Gongzi Yuan and Xiao Ruabai sent her to the city lord's mansion, she looked at the figure far away at the end of the street and said, anyway, there won't be many matches when we go back now. Do you want to come in and have some tea? Okay. Gongzi Yuan and Xiao Ruabai both felt that they got along well with her and didn't mind getting along further. Then please come in. Gongzi Yuan and Xiao Ruabai followed Sima Yue to her courtyard. Sima Yue led them to the pavilion by the lake. Although most of the things in the ghost realm were gray or dark, the delicately trimmed garden was still very beautiful. Especially the pavilion built by the lake, the terrain was relatively high. It was very comfortable to drink tea by the lake and enjoy the breeze. Seeing Sima Yue really took out the tools to make tea, Xiao Ruabai and Gongzi Yuan were a little surprised. Xiao Ruabai laughed and said, you are really making tea for us? This tea was obtained from my father. Although it's not the best Longjing tea, it's still the best in the entire ghost realm. Sima Yue said, do you want to try my tea-making skills? If it was the previous Morongshi, I would definitely say no. But since it's you, I can give it a try. Xiao Ruabai came to her side and sat down. Gongzi Yuan sat down on the other side. Sima Yue quickly made the tea and gave each of them a cup. Try it. Gongzi Yuan and Xiao Ruabai took a sip and both of them frowned. Chapter 1772. In 1 second, she remembered, Love Divided by You? Read book Webno pop-up window free to read. Sima Yue looked at their strange expressions and asked, is it bad? She took a sip from the teacup. The taste was good. Share your tea art. Xiao Ruabai hesitated. What's wrong? Are you not used to it? Sima Yue asked. No, we want to say that it's delicious, but it's best not to show it in front of others. Gongzi Yuan said. Why? Sima Yue was puzzled. There is a person in the ghost realm who likes tea art very much. If he knows, he will definitely capture you and imprison you until you teach him the art of tea. Gongzi Yuan said. That person is very powerful and has a strong background. If he wants to imprison you, it's useless for your father to find Wang Ye. Are you talking about MOU? Sima Yue asked. You know him? Xiao Ruabai and Gongzi Yuan were surprised. I know him, Sima Yue said. We have also discussed tea art. What? You have also discussed tea art? Gongzi Yuan exclaimed. He didn't capture you? He's very easy to get along with. Sima Yue said. Why are you so afraid of him? Although MOU wanted to kill her at first, after knowing that she knew tea, he came over to ask for advice and taught her a lot of underworld skills. Therefore, she felt that MOU was not difficult to get along with. Maybe it's because you also know tea, so you think he's easy to get along with. Xiao Ruabai guessed. That should be the reason. Gongzi Yuan agreed. Is MOU that scary? Sima Yue asked. Yes. You don't know, he kills people without blinking, and he has a serious obsession with cleanliness. Whoever dares to approach him, he will immediately kill them. And he is temperamental. 1 second he may be talking and laughing with you, The next second he may cut you into pieces. Gongzi Yuan said. One is Mou, one is Deja. These two are simply the killing gods of the ghost realm. If you meet these two in the future, you have to stay away from them. Xiao Ruabai continued. Although that Deja can be considered as your cousin, he is very difficult to get along with. Except for the Dark Princess, he treats everyone. Sima Yue was speechless. She felt that Mou and Deja were very nice. Why were the two of them so scared? Did you make a mistake? She said uncertainly. I've met Deja before. He's a very nice person. As soon as she said this, Gongzi Yuan and Xiao Ruabai looked at her in horror. You actually said that the two of them are good? Those were two murderous gods, okay? Do you know that everyone in the ghost realm is afraid of the two of them? Gongzi Yuan's eyes widened as he thought of something. His face was abnormally pale. Is it that scary? Sima Yue asked. Of course. I saw it with my own eyes last time. There was a woman who wanted to get close to Mou. As a result, she was killed by him when she was 10 meters away. That woman was the daughter of a Wangya. As a result, that Wangya didn't even dare to fart. Instead, he asked for Mou's forgiveness. Gongzi Yuan said. I've also seen Deja kill people, but I saw it from afar. He directly brought people to destroy a family. The reason seems to be that the people of that family said bad things about the Dark Princess. Xiao Ruabai also said. Oh. Sima Yue was speechless. She didn't expect the reputation of these two people in the ghost realm to be so good. If I hadn't known you for so long and know what kind of person you are. With what you said, people might think that you are a cold-blooded person like them. Gongzi Yuan said. After all, birds of a feather flock together. So those who thought that Mou and Deja were good people were definitely not good people? She smiled. I invited you to drink tea, and made you think of them. It's my fault for not being considerate. It's not your problem. The main thing is that we heard that Mou and Deja have recently come to your county. We just got the news this morning, so when we drank such good tea, we thought of this. Gongzi Yuan said. They're all here? Yes, and I heard that the two of them are very incompatible. They fought many times along the way and many guards died. Gongzi Yuan said. Wrong, you shouldn't say that. It should be said that Deja pestered Mou to fight many times. Every time Mou let his guards play with Deja. Xiao Ruabai clarified for Mou. With Mou's strength he won't fight with Deja. It's too degrading. Sima Yue looked at Xiao Ruabai. Why do I feel that your words are full of joy? Where? Xiao Ruabai didn't admit it. A person like him, good-looking, cold and arrogant, with strength and background, is indeed the Prince Charming in many girls' hearts. Sima Yue teased. Although it was the first time they heard the word Prince Charming, Xiao Ruabai and Gongzi Yuan still understood what it meant. Since you know that they came to this county, do you know where they are? Sima Yue asked. I don't know. Mou's whereabouts are always uncertain. And Deja seems to be pestering him this time. It should be that wherever he is, Deja is there. Sima Yue tapped 3 fingers on the stone table. Xiao Ruabai and Gongzi Yuan didn't know what she was thinking. Seeing that the two of them finished drinking tea, she stopped thinking and poured tea for them. You're not thinking of going to see them, are you? Gongzi Yuan asked. Sima Yue raised her eyebrows and smiled. No, I don't want to see them, but how can I not see them? That's good. Gongzi Yuan and Xiao Ruabai were relieved. They didn't know why, but when they heard her talk about Mou and Deja, they felt that she would go to them. People like them will be the focus of attention wherever they go. You just have to hide when the time comes. Well, I know. Sima Yue nodded. What she didn't tell the two of them was that when she heard that Mou and Deja were here, she had a sixth sense that they would meet. But now was not a good time to meet. She really had to find a way to hide from them. However, with her current strength and identity, it was really difficult to hide from these two people. Alas, what a headache. In the county manor not too far from Eternal Brilliant City, Deja was knocking open the door of the county manor and walked in angrily. The guard behind him was frightened, afraid that he would be killed by his master. Mou was tasting tea in the courtyard. When he saw Deja come in, a trace of helplessness and impatience flashed in his eyes. Why hasn't this guy left yet? How long will this dogskin plaster stick to him? You broke another door? This door belongs to Morong Hui. When he comes back, you have to give him an explanation. He said slowly. Pass down the order. There is no need to change the door for the county king. Just leave it empty. Yes, master. The guard breathed a sigh of relief and retreated. Don't talk to me about this. Dija stared at him and asked, did you send someone to kill Morongshi? Chapter 1773. In 1 second, she remembered, Love Divided by You? Read book web no pop-up windows, free to read. That's right. MOU admitted. He did send people to kill Morongshi. MOU, I've already targeted your people. How do you still have the strength to kill Morongshi? Dija shouted. She's just a little girl. How could you be so ruthless to her? I didn't want to kill her. Do you want some tea? MOU poured a cup of tea for Dija and pushed it in front of him. Dija glanced at the tea he handed over, took a sip and said, didn't we agree not to do anything to Morongshi? Yes, it wasn't my people who went. It was Anaheim's people who did it. MOU said faintly. You. Dija was speechless. Our agreement was that you and my people wouldn't do anything. I didn't break the rules. MOU said. You, General D, have killed countless people. Why do you care so much about a little girl? Is it because she looks like you, Kaluo? You also said that she's just a little girl. Why do you want to kill her? Isn't it because she looks like my aunt? Dija sneered. Anaheim can't kill my aunt, and also can't kill Yue, but this anger is transferred to Morongshi who is similar to them. You can go and settle the score with her. I won't stop you. MOU said. But in that case, the little things you did in private may be discovered by her. You're threatening me? Dija narrowed his eyes. A fierce light flashed in his eyes. Don't look at me like that. You can't beat me. MOU said. If it wasn't for you Kaluo's face, would you still be able to pester me for so long? Dija clenched his fists. MOU, don't think that you're the biggest in the ghost realm. I don't think so. MOU said. It's just that I live more freely than you. You're comfortable? I think you've become Anaheim's lackey. Dija said. She asked you to kill and you killed. How dare you say you're free? I killed Morongshi to return her a small favor. After this matter, she won't be able to order me around. However, you great General D, will always be suppressed by her. Instead of wasting time here with me, why don't you go back and think about how to deal with your affairs? Dija narrowed his eyes. Don't look at me like that. If I know about your matters, she will be able to find out too. It's just a matter of time, MOU said. Don't let yourself and the entire D family be implicated before you can save her. It's none of your business. Dija tried to control his anger. Oh, I remember now. You don't care about the D family at all. You don't even care if they live or die. But if it's because of your mistake and we fail to save you Kaluo, will you not care? Shut your mouth. Dija waved his hand and smashed the rockery not far away. Are you angry from embarrassment? With your mentality, how can you fight with the Anaheim? How can you save you Kaluo? MOU chuckled. Humph you, master. A man in black came in from outside the courtyard and stopped outside the pavilion. MOU glanced at Dija and asked, What's the matter? Master, the people below reported that Morongshi is not dead. The man said. Not dead. MOU's voice was drawn out. His voice was still the same, but it made people feel that he was a little angry. At that time, the news they sent back was indeed that she was dead, but our people found that she was actually still alive. Tisk tsk, it seems that the people of the Anaheim are very useless. Dija laughed, his words full of contempt. Is the news confirmed? MOU asked. Yes. Last time at Atavistic Orchid Mountain, they saw it with their own eyes. Since she is not dead, why did they report that she is dead? The news that those people sent back before they died said that Morongshi had been seriously injured and had no spiritual power. She also fell down the cliff and would definitely die. It seems that Morongshi is really lucky to not die. Dija sneered. You don't abide by the rules, so I don't need to abide by our agreement. Dilu, let's go find Uncle to talk about the old days. Do you want to personally protect Morongshi? It just so happens that I also want to see what kind of person can actually survive under such conditions. Why don't we go together? Mou smiled. Only a ghost would want to be with you. Deja sneered and turned around to leave with Dilu. Mou looked at Deja and sighed helplessly. Aren't you just a ghost? Master, do you want to send someone to Eternal Brilliance City? No need, I will go personally. Mou said. I also want to see how similar the so-called woman who looks like you Kaluo is. How similar is she to her? Yes, this subordinate will go and prepare. After sending away the two worried people, Sima Yue did not even have time to breathe a sigh of relief before Murong Hui walked in from outside. Why did you suddenly run out? Do you know that it is very dangerous outside? A-class equals __cf email _ref equals /cdncgi/l/email protection. Seeing that she had been looking at him with a smile, the fire in his heart slowly dissipated. Don't do such dangerous things in the future. He reached out and poked her forehead. I know, father, you have always sent people to follow me. As long as I go out, there will be people secretly protecting me. Sima Yue said with a smile. And if we don't do anything, they won't do anything. Look, I went out for a walk and immediately found something. What happened to you? Are you hurt? Why didn't I get any news? Father, I'm fine. They haven't made a move yet. Sima Yue said. It's just that when I was at the venue, I felt that I was being watched. Then when Ruabai and I came back, we were also tailed. They actually didn't inform me. Murong Hui was furious. How can they not inform me about this kind of thing? As he spoke, he went to find the people he had arranged. Father, don't worry. Sima Yue pulled him. I told them not to say anything. You are so busy and nothing happened. There is no need to disturb you. If something really happened, I will definitely tell you first. You girl. Murong Hui looked at her helplessly. If Sheer was half as sensible as you, I wouldn't have to worry so much. Sheer is your treasure. She is very good. She is your joy. Sima Yue said. Even if she leaves, she will be happy and let you continue to accompany me. Murong Hui comforted in his heart and entrusted his feelings to her. But there will be no next time. Yes. You know your identity and you don't want me to say anything. I want to protect you with my strength. I am very worried. A-class equals __cf email _ref equals /cdncgi/l/email protection. Datic female equals D9045699126C. Email protected. Are we really not going to tell Wang Ya? No need. Maybe we will meet someone else. Sima Yue curled her lips. Someone else? Who? I just have a hunch now. I hope my hunch is wrong. Chapter 1774. Remember in 1 second, love divided by you? Read book web. Update fast, no pop-up window, free to read. However, that was just her beautiful imagination. Without the scarlet bees watching everywhere, she didn't know much about the news outside. So when she saw Deja and Mou, she was already on the road of escape with Xiao Ruabai and Gongzi Yuan. During the days of the youth exchange, she stayed at home and didn't go out. Gongzi Yuan and Xiao Ruabai would come to accompany her from time to time and tell her about the competition until the last day of the youth exchange. On this day, after Murong Hui packed up, he was ready to go to the venue, just like the previous few days. The only difference was that Sima Yue found him before he went out. Father, I'm going out today. Murong Hui stopped and looked at her. You're going out? Today is the last day of the youth exchange. I think if I go out today, they are most likely to make a move. Sima Yue said. Murong Hui frowned. But today is the final. I have to attend. If you go out now, I won't be at ease. Father, don't worry. Didn't you arrange a lot of people around me? They are more powerful than Sheer's people, right? So nothing will happen. Sima Yue said. And I have little Z. With it, no one can hurt me. But Murong Hui was still hesitant. I don't want to experience the same thing a second time. Father, I can protect myself better than Sheer. You can also protect me better. I will be fine. I have more important things to do. I won't joke with my life. he said. Master, it's almost time. A guard ran from the front and whispered, I'll leave the housekeeper here. You can go out after discussing. Moronghui glanced at the housekeeper and said, Okay. Sima Yue promised she wouldn't joke with her life. Moronghui saw that she agreed, so he agreed to let her go out, told the housekeeper to protect her well, and then left with the guard. The butler stepped forward and bowed to Sima Yue saying, Young mistress, you need some time to gather everyone. If anything happens to you, we have enough strength to rush over and protect you. Okay, I'll go out in the afternoon. Tell me about the arrangements that father made for you. Sima Yue smiled at the steward. In the afternoon, when she swaggered out of the city lord mansion, she saw Xiao Ruabai and Gongzi Yuan who were just about to come in. Didn't you two say that you won't be coming over today? Ruabai said she was worried that you would do something stupid, so she had to come and take a look. Gongzi Yuan shrugged, as if saying that women were really troublesome. So, I actually guessed right. Xiao Ruabai looked at Sima Yue and said, I have something to do. I'm afraid I don't have time to entertain you today, Sima Yue said. I'll treat you to tea tomorrow and let you know the final result. We're all here. Do you think we'll leave? Xiao Ruabai said. Yeah. Where are you going? We'll go with you, Gongzi Yuan said. What I'm going to do is more private. It's not convenient to take you with me. Sima Yue refused directly. Come on, don't we know you? Gongzi Yuan said. We'll follow you today. You, Sheer, we're worried about your safety, Gongzi Yuan said. But it's more dangerous to follow me, Sima Yue said helplessly. After the last incident, the family sent 2 underworld royal masters to protect us. So this time it won't be like last time. Gongzi Yuan smiled proudly. Sima Yue shook her head helplessly and said, Let's go. Where are we going? The two followed her footsteps. The wilderness is suitable for doing bad things, Sima Yue said. Didn't you attack Sheer in Atavistic Orchid Mountain last time? I still plan to go to Atavistic Orchid Mountain. I knew it. You're fine, Gongzi Yuan said. With you here, I'll be fine. Sima Yue looked disgusted. When they went out of the city gate, they immediately felt that someone was following them. Although they all pretended to be people who went to Atavistic Orchid Mountain to gain experience, their eyes betrayed them from time to time. Where did these people come from? Why did they come to kill you? Gongzi Yuan said. I'm a waste who can't do anything, Sima Yue said. Sending so many people to kill me is already thinking highly of me, okay? That's true. Gongzi Yuan and Xiao Ruabai both nodded in agreement. Sima Yue. By the way, did you know that there was a thunder tribulation here last time? Xiao Ruabai asked. I was in the city lord mansion, Sima Yue said. You came to see it. When we came, there was nothing here. I don't know who was crossing the tribulation here. Thinking about it, the thunder tribulation was quite big at that time. That person might have been killed, Gongzi Yuan said. Sima Yue touched her nose and did not answer. It should be enough here. They didn't go far out of the city. Sima Yue saw that there was no one here, so she stopped and didn't want to go. The people behind realized at this time that they had been discovered long ago. Boss, Gongzi Yuan and Xiao Ruabai are also here. I saw it. The boss's face was not very good. Then should we solve it together? These two families seem to be quite big. This is a problem. Boss, who are the people above? We don't know their identity. If we rashly make enemies with these two families, will there be problems? Yes, boss, we just follow you to make a living. If we offend these two families, we probably won't have a foothold in the ghost realm. What are you afraid of? The boss patted them on the shoulder. Look at what this is. A token from the palace. Yes. So the people above us are from the palace. Why should we be afraid of two families? Go clean them up for me. As soon as the boss spoke, all the brothers went up and surrounded Sima Yue. The guards of Gongzi Yuan and Xiao Ruabai, as well as the personal guards of Sima Yue, jumped out and stood in front of them. Sima Yue looked at them and asked, Who are you? You don't need to know. The boss sneered. Well, you really don't need to know. Because you were hired by someone, and the person who hired you was someone from the palace. Let me guess, the most likely one is Queen Anaheim, right? The boss was also stunned. Were the people above really Anaheim's people? Humph. No matter what you say, you can't escape death today. You were lucky last time, but this time it won't be so good. Everyone go. The people protecting Sima Yue also caught up from behind, and the two sides fought. Xiao Ruabai and Gongzi Yuan pulled her away from the battle circle, and continued to run to atavistic Orchid Mountain. Chapter 1775. 1 second to remember. Love divided by you? Read book web. Update fast, no pop-up window. Free to read. Although these assassins looked a bit unreliable, their strength was not weak. They dragged the City Lord Mansion's people, and sent some people to chase after Yue and the others. The three of them did not have many guards with them, but those assassins seemed to be a large organization. At least there were a lot of them. They chased Yue and the others all the way to the foot of atavistic Orchid Mountain. Miss. The butler rushed out of atavistic Orchid Mountain with his men. He didn't have time to say anything and went directly. Xiao Ruabai and Gongzi Yuan had fought with those people along the way. They were already exhausted. When they saw the butler and the City Lord Mansion's people, the two sat down directly. You have arranged people here, but you didn't tell us. We were worried to death. We thought we couldn't escape this round. Sima Yue smiled at the two. If you knew earlier, your expressions wouldn't be so real. If they didn't follow, our plan wouldn't be so easy to implement. That's true. After the two rested for a while, they got up from the ground and patted the dust on their bodies. Miss, we will protect you first. The butler suddenly said. What's wrong? Someone else is coming. The butler said. Miss, the person is very strong. Let's go. Ha ha ha, Morong Lin. Do you think you can still escape today? A wild laughter came from afar, and the butler's face became very ugly. He turned to Sima Yue and the others and said, the person who came is one of Anaheim's generals, Su Kuei. I didn't expect him to come today. It seems that this matter is really done by Anaheim behind. Young master and miss, my miss will be handed over to you. Butler, you don't have the confidence to deal with him, do you? Sima Yue looked at the butler. His strength is above me. The butler said. Miss, you'd better leave quickly. I'll go with you. Sima Yue said. Gongzi Yuan Ruabai, let your guards protect you and leave. Gongzi Yuan and Xiao Ruabai knew the ability of the butler. If even he was not sure, then today would be a hard battle. You don't have any spiritual power, so it's useless for you to stay. Uncle Lin wants you to live. Gongzi Yuan said. Let's go together. Sima Yue shook her head. I was the one who caused this, so I have to stay. You can leave first. The butler and I will be fine. Sima Yue said confidently. Xiao Ruabai and Gongzi Yuan were a little hesitant. In the end, Xiao Ruabai said, since you are so sure, then we will stay with you. Can you protect us? Ruabai, although I don't know why, I just believe in you, even though you don't have the strength. Xiao Ruabai said. Isn't it strange? I also find it strange. All right, since all of you are staying, how can I escape alone? Wherever Xi'er is, I will be there. Gongzi Yuan also said. Have you thought it through? Ghosts did not have a second life. If you die, you will really die. Sima Yue said. Who doesn't have a time to die? It's just a matter of time. Gongzi Yuan said. Well, you and I are grasshoppers on the same rope. Today we will live and die together. Sima Yue said with a smile. All right, we will live and die together. Xiao Ruabai and Gongzi Yuan both said. Miss. The butler saw that they really did not intend to leave and shouted anxiously. Butler, don't worry. I said that I won't die here today, so I definitely won't. Sima Yue looked at Morong Lin firmly. You are my father's right-hand man. How can I let my father's arm be cut off? TSK. What a touching friendship. What a confident girl. Su Kuei caught up with them with a group of people and surrounded them in the middle. A tall man walked to the front. His armor was shiny and shiny. His facial features seemed to be squeezed together, which was very unsightly. So ugly. Sima Yue didn't want to look at him. Such an ugly person actually looked like he was the most handsome person in the world. She wanted to throw up last night's meal. But Sukue laughed even more happily when he saw her disgusted expression. Morongshi, I really didn't expect you to be so lucky. You didn't die after falling down the cliff. Those guys are too useless, he said. Well, I will take your life with my own hands. It will be easier to explain to the queen when I go back. I didn't offend the queen. Why does she want to kill me? Sima Yue asked. This sentence was asked for the dead Morongshi. Blame it on your appearance, Sukue said. Your appearance is an eyesore to the queen, so you must die. Then this Oniheim is really an unintelligent woman. Sima Yue curled her lips. If I hate her face, I will only destroy her face and let her look at her face every day in pain. So, your queen is still a little inexperienced. Pfft. Gongzi Yuan and Xiao Ruobai both laughed. It was estimated that she was the only one in the entire ghost domain who could mock Queen Oniheim like this. If ignorant. When your head is brought to the queen, she will be even happier. Sukue sneered. Go, whoever takes Murong Lin's head will be rewarded with a piece of spirit stone. Whoever takes Murong Shi's head will be rewarded with 1,000 crystal stones. Sima Yue curled her lips. Why is my life so worthless? Because your strength is too low, Xiao Ruobai said mercilessly. What a blow. Don't say this kind of truth. It turns out that you understand it yourself. Just when those people were about to make a move, there was a change in the space channel, and a force directly blocked all those people back. I, Morong Hui's daughter. Is she someone you can touch? Morong Hui came out of the space channel and looked at those people angrily. If he came a little later, wouldn't he only see a cold corpse again? Morong Hui. You finally came. I thought you would hide in Eternal Brilliance City and not come out. Sukue sneered. So your ultimate goal is me? Morong Hui caught a different kind of information from his words. No, it's you and your daughter. The queen said, no one will be left alive. That depends on whether you have the ability. Morong Hui was angry, and the wind happened to blow his long hair up, and his momentum was strong. I know, your strength is far beyond mine, but I didn't say that I want to fight with you. Sukue's words fell, and two people in cloaks came to the front. Their aura was comparable to Morong Hui's. It seemed that the other party was prepared for him. Morong Hui smiled coldly. Do you think that only you are prepared? Chapter 1776. 1 second to remember. Love divided by you? Read BookWeb. Update fast, no pop-up window, free to read. As soon as Morong Hui's words fell, hundreds of people rushed out of the mountains. The aura of these people was obviously different from the guards of Eternal Brilliance City. Duke Morong, did you bring all the masters of the Duke Manor? Sukue looked at those people, and was not in a hurry. To deal with you, I don't need all of them. A-class equals __CF email _ref equals /CDNCGI/L/email protection. I'll take you down today, and then I'll settle accounts with Anaheim later. Haha, just you? You're just a little duke, and you're trying to fight with the queen? You're too whimsical. I'll deal with you first and then the people behind you. Go. The people on both sides fought together. Morong Hui left a sentence to protect Miss and flew over to fight with the other side. Morong Lin wanted to go up and fight with Sukue, but Morong Hui went up. He had to stay and protect Sima Yue, and protect her and Gongzi Yuan to a safe distance. Miss stepped back a little. He actually wanted them to leave first, but seeing that the three of them were not afraid at all, instead, their eyes were shining, the words in his throat changed. Uncle Lin, don't worry. We will take care of ourselves, Gongzi Yuan said. This was the first time Sima Yue saw a large-scale battle in the ghost realm. Compared with the colorful effects in the human realm, the effect of the underworld skills was a piece of black light. She looked at the spiritual skills used by those people, and her hands slowly understood, as if she was learning. You'll have it too. Xiao Ruobai looked at her fingers and said. She didn't have the strength, so naturally, she didn't know these underworld skills. But looking at her focused look, she should want to learn. Sima Yue returned her smile and nodded. Suddenly, her smile disappeared, and her expression became serious. "We're in big trouble," she said. "What? You have to leave immediately," Sima Yue said. "Butler, do you have a temporary teleportation portal?" "Xia, what's wrong with you?" Xiao Ruabai and the others didn't understand why her face suddenly changed. "There are many powerful people coming over," Sima Yue said. "They are very strong. We might not be able to do anything. Steward, take them and leave first." "Father, and I will be there soon." The people who came were very strong and there were a lot of them. Even if she had little Z and me air, she could not guarantee the safety of Xiao Ruabai and the others. "The same thing happened last time. You knew that the divine beast was coming before us." Gongzi Yuan looked at her. "How did you know?" "My senses are a little stronger than yours," Sima Yue said. "All right, there's no time now. Hurry up and leave." "Miss, it's too late." The butler took out a temporary teleportation array and said after trying it twice. "What's wrong?" Gongzi Yuan asked. Sima Yue saw that there was no reaction from the teleportation formation in his hand and said in a low voice, "Someone has sealed this entire space." "What? Those people haven't come yet and they've sealed this place?" Gongzi Yuan exclaimed. "It seems that we really met a big shot this time," Xiao Ruabai said. The two sides who were fighting also noticed this. As those people approached, both sides stopped. "It seems that my backup arrived first." Su Kuei smiled proudly. Morong Hui's face was calm. The people who came were so strong, but they didn't seem to be his backup. "Father," Sima Yue called and he hurried back to her side. "Father, how are you?" Sima Yue saw blood on his clothes. "Just a little injury. A-class equals __CF email __ref equals /CDNCGI/L/email protection. I'll think of a way to break through the sealed space. You guys use the teleportation array and leave quickly. What about you?" "I'll stay and stall them. The people Anaheim wants to deal with this time are you, but the bigger target is me. This has already involved other things. So even if something happens to me today, you don't have to feel guilty. A-class equals __CF email __ref equals /CDNCGI/L/email protection datic female equals Yay 3765A215F, email protection." "Father, I won't let anything happen to you," Sima Yue said affirmatively. Morong Hui touched her head. "You're such a good child." Sima Yue called little Z out and waited for those people to arrive. If the other party made a move, she would immediately let little Z kill them. "They're here." Morong Hui stared into the distance. A group of black shadows slowly flew over from a distance. When they got a clear look at the leader, everyone was stunned. Not only did Morong Hui's people not expect them to come, but even Su Kuei was stunned. "How could it be them?" Su Kuei murmured. Sima Yue looked at the people coming and her mouth twitched. Her premonition was really right. When Deja and Mou saw Sima Yue, they were a little stunned. "This is really similar to Yu. It's like a mold," Deja muttered. "I heard that her mother and Yu Kaluo are very similar, and she is almost the same as her mother, so she looks like Yue," Mou said. "It seems that their resemblance is just the same as Yue," Deja said with emotion. "You say, Anaheim wants to kill her because she looks like Yu Kaluo or Sima Yue. It's possible." "I think so too," Deja said. "But since I'm here today, I won't let you kill her again. Do you think you can stop me?" Mou glanced at him, his words full of contempt. "Then try it." After Deja finished speaking, he flew towards Sima Yue. Although Mou didn't move, everyone knew who he was going to help. "My goodness, we just talked about the two of them before. I didn't expect to see them today." Xiao Ruabai looked at Mou in a daze. "Don't be infatuated. You know how powerful he is. He's going to help the other party kill us now." Gongzi Yuan couldn't stand her and said with a roll of his eyes. "Thank you for your help, General D." Morong Hui led his people to salute Deja. Deja's gaze was always on Sima Yue, as if he wanted to dig something out of her. "I helped you because I didn't want to see Mou and Anaheim succeed. You don't have to take it to heart," Deja said faintly. His tone didn't put them in his eyes at all. Sima Yue watched him turn around after he finished speaking and rolled her eyes at his back, but she didn't expect him to turn back and catch her red-handed. Sima Yue was stunned, and so was Deja. Then his eyes flashed with ecstasy. He went up and grabbed her arms and said excitedly, you're here, aren't you?" Sima Yue's arm hurt from his grip. She grimaced and wanted to break free but couldn't. She anxiously slapped him on the shoulder. As a result, because of the angle of the two, she slapped someone in the face. Pa! The crisp sound was very strange in the quiet battlefield. Everyone was stunned. Xiao Ruabai and Gongzi Yuan looked at her in horror. They thought, it's over. We've provoked the killing god. Chapter 1777. 1 Second to Remember. Love Divided by You? Reads Book Web. Update fast, no pop-up window, free to read. The scene was quiet for 2 seconds. The people present were waiting for Deja to flip out, and the people on the opposite side wanted to watch the fun. Didn't you, Deja, want to save her? Now that she hit you in public, will you still save her? Who in the ghost realm didn't know that Deja was famous for his violent temper? As long as you provoked him, few could survive. Back then, there was a princess who had accidentally offended him. And that princess was even his own cousin. He had also killed her, carried her corpse to the palace, and threw it in front of the concubine. Another time, when someone provoked him, he directly brought people to destroy the entire family, and no one in the family was left alive. From then on, whether it was the royal family or others, they would not provoke him, this killing god. Now these people looked at Sima Yue with ridicule in their eyes. This plot was really a reversal. Xiao Ruabai stood beside Sima Yue, and her legs were weak with fright. However, the bloody scene they expected did not appear. Deja was like a different person this time. He was not angry at all after being slapped, and he still held her shoulder tightly. Cousin, you hurt me, Sima Yue said. It's really you. Deja got the answer he wanted and was very happy. Seeing her slightly frown, he let go of her. Cousin, there are a lot of people here. Sima Yue reminded. I know. Deja smiled and said, don't worry, I will protect you. It's good that you don't cause trouble, Sima Yue said. If the Anaheim knows that I came to the ghost realm, I will be in trouble later. How am I causing trouble? It's enough to kill those Anaheim people. Mou is a little more troublesome, I can't beat him. Deja said, but even if Anaheim knows, I will find a way to protect you. Yes, General D. Sima Yue stared at him. You should solve this problem first. All right. Let's solve the problem here first, and then I have a lot of questions to ask you. After Deja finished, he grabbed her hand and brought her to his side. Xiao Ruabai and the others' eyes widened as they looked at the gentle Deja in disbelief. I'm not mistaken, am I? Xiao Ruabai rubbed her eyes, her face full of shock. Gongzi Yuan also twitched his mouth. Is this really General D? It couldn't have been switched, right? Morong Hui was not too worried because he knew Deja's feelings for Yu Kaluo, so he would not do anything to Sima Yue. But what surprised him was that he and Sima Yue seemed to have known each other for a long time, and their relationship was very good. Where they stood, Deja just happened to have his back to everyone, but he could see clearly. Deja looked at Sima Yue with eyes full of love. With Deja, Sima Yue's life should be saved, but Mou on the opposite side was really a headache. Sima Yue stood beside Deja, wanting to see how he would solve this problem. She was very clear about Mou's ability, he naturally could not beat him. But she wanted to see what he would do. Mou, I will protect her today, what do you say? Deja raised his chin and looked at Mou. Sima Yue pursed her lips. This was his way of solving the problem? She thought he had some good ideas. Mou stared at Sima Yue for a while. No one could tell whether he was happy or angry. The people present did not dare to speak, they just looked at him. Su Kuei saw that Mou did not speak. He was worried that this person who did not play by the rules would make a bad decision. Master Mou. The queen said that we must bring back the heads of Morong Shi and Morong Hui. He reminded. This is your deal with the queen. Mou heard this and his face sank. It was obvious that he was a little angry. Su Kuei subconsciously took a step back, but he still mustered up his courage and said, The queen said that after this matter is over, she will not trouble Master Mou in the future. I know the matter between me and her better than you, Mou said faintly. Isn't it just killing a person? Moronghui looked at him with eyes full of killing intent and said to Dija, General D, please take my daughter out. Duke Morong, what do you want to do? Master Mou's strength is unfathomable. I will try my best to delay a little. A class equals __cf email _ref equals /cdncgi/l/ email protection. Datic female equals E73A68A72C52. Email protected. In the future, please take care of my daughter. Father. Sima Yue went over and took his hand. Don't worry, I won't let anything happen to you. Dija looked at her like this and wanted to say that in fact, he was not as confident as she was. Moronghui looked at Sima Yue dotingly. At this time he really regarded her as his daughter from the bottom of his heart, not just Yu Kuluo's daughter. Good child, father already knows your intentions. But now it's important to escape. If you live well, father will be happy. Sima Yue did not say much to him. She turned to look at Mou and asked, You want to kill us? Anaheim wants to kill you, Mou said. Is it important? She asked again. It depends on the situation. Oh. When the others heard the conversation between the two, they felt as if there was a crow flying over their heads. Xiao Ruobai and Gongzi Yuan were even more speechless. Although they admired Sima Yue's courage to face Mou without changing her expression, but at this time, she could still say this. Mou, are you really going to do it? Dija stood in front of Sima Yue, took out his weapon, and was ready to fight. Sima Yue poked her head out from behind him and looked at Mou. The people on Su Kuei's side also looked at Mou and the guards behind him. The strongest team here was the people behind him. As long as he sided with one side, the other side would lose. Lord Mou, Su Kuei shouted with uncertainty. Alas! Mou sighed. Let's do it. The guards behind him received his order, and all of them attacked Dija and the others. It's over, we're probably going to die here today. Everyone was screaming in their hearts, hoping that Dija's people could resist. But everyone knew that Dija's people couldn't beat Mou's people, but they still hoped for a miracle. Miracle, miracle, they prayed in their hearts, and then a miracle appeared. At the moment when the two sides were about to fight, a more depressed sigh reached their ears. Idiot, you're wrong. They had never felt that Mou's words would be so pleasant to the ears. This was really the sound of nature. The guards were only stunned for a moment before they immediately changed their target and attacked Su Kuei's group. When Su Kuei saw Mou's people attacking Dija's side, a smug smile appeared on his face. But in the blink of an eye, he was slapped in the face, and his pride was replaced by panic. What was going on? Not only did they not understand, but Moronghui and the others also did not understand. But this was a good thing. Especially when Mou added another sentence. Leave no one alive. Chapter 1778. 1 second to remember. Love divided by you? Read book web. Update fast, no pop-up window, free to read. Leave no one alive. Everyone's heart trembled. Lord Mou was really ruthless. Lord Mou, why? Su Kuei didn't know how this change came about. Didn't they say they were going to deal with Dija's people? How did it become killing them? Before they could answer, they were killed by Mou's people. Mou's people were fast and accurate. Su Kuei's people fell one by one. Many people didn't understand why they died. Even if he didn't intend to help Anaheim, he shouldn't have helped Moronghui kill them. Xiao Ruobai looked at the battlefield opposite and asked in a daze, Are we seeing things? Lord Mou is helping us? It should be. Gongzi Yuan said. I just don't know why. They turned their eyes to Moronghui and Dija. The two of them were also puzzled. It seemed that they didn't know either. At this time, Mou flew towards them and came to the front of the crowd. To be exact, he came to Sima Yue and said with a little dissatisfaction, Why didn't you come to me when you came? Sima Yue smiled. I thought you didn't recognize me. Everyone was confused. Mou and Sima Yue actually knew each other? He killed Anaheim's people for her? Didn't he want to kill her? Xiao Ruabai and Gongzi Yuan were even more frightened. She had such a good relationship with Mou. One Deja, one Mou, they were actually helping her. No wonder she said the two of them were very good. This was really good to her. No one dares to look at me like this except you. Mou said. I'll take it as a compliment. Sima Yue said with a smile. Don't be happy too early. You really did what you said when you came to the ghost realm without looking for me. Mou snorted. No, I left a mark on you. I should have sensed it when you came to the ghost realm. Suddenly, his face changed slightly. How did you? Let's talk about this later. Sima Yue interrupted him. Yes. Everyone was stunned. She actually dared to interrupt Lord Mou's words. And Lord Mou actually wasn't angry? Deja was not happy. When did you two meet? I'll tell you later, let's settle this first. Sima Yue said. Mou, you killed Anaheim's men. What if Anaheim gets angry? He's already dead. How would she know that I killed him? Mou smiled faintly. Besides, when do I need to look at her face? How domineering. Everyone sighed inwardly. TSK. Deja rolled his eyes. Didn't he want to kill Morongxi because of Anaheim? Although they did not know how Sima Yue became Morongxi, it should be related to this matter. Soon, the battle over there ended. To be exact, it was a one-sided slaughter. None of Anaheim's men were left alive, and none of Mou's men were injured. Master. The guards came over and knelt down to accept their punishment. Even Master's thoughts were wrong. How would Master punish them this time? But they really couldn't be blamed. Master's thoughts were too different from before. Even they did not think of what happened to Master. Embarrassing, get lost. Mou did not even want to look at them. Those people were also obedient and left immediately. But Sima Yue felt that these people definitely did not leave far. Let's find a place to talk. Mou said, as if he did not allow a group of people to come over. Deja pulled Sima Yue's hand and looked at him. Where are you bringing you? Shertu? What do you care? Mou raised his eyes slightly, not putting Deja in his eyes. I'm her cousin. What do you think I care? Deja raised his chin and said proudly. You win. Mou knew about the relationship between Deja and Sima Yue. When they were drinking tea and chatting before, they had talked about Deja. This was also the reason why he was so patient with Deja. Okay, you two stop quarreling. Sima Yue said. I have to go back with father. There are still some follow-up matters to deal with. You either go back with me or go play by yourself. Go play by yourself? Go play by yourself? Everyone. Xiao Ruabai looked at her with admiration. You are the first person in the ghost realm to be able to talk to the two killing gods of the ghost realm like this. Mou and Deja looked at each other and said in unison. Then let's go together. So the dizzy group of people went back home. Deja's people were the same as Mou's people. They were driven away by him, so there were two more people on the return trip. Half a day later, Xiao Ruabai and Gongzi Yuan looked at the three people drinking tea by the lake, full of emotion. A few days ago, when they were drinking tea there, they talked about the two killing gods of the ghost realm. At that time, she said that she knew the two of them, but they didn't take it to heart. Only a few days later, she was here drinking tea with the two killing gods. Amazing. It seems that Shi-Er's origin is more powerful than we thought. Xiao Ruabai said with emotion. Seeing Gongzi Yuan in a daze, she poked him with her elbow. What are you thinking about? Gongzi Yuan was poked by her, and came back to his senses. I'm thinking about her identity. Since she is not Shi-Er and looks so similar, I thought of a possibility that we have never thought of. You mean? Xiao Ruabai's eyes widened. It can't be? How could she be? Gongzi Yuan glanced at her faintly. Actually, you think so too, right? Apart from that identity, who else can look so similar to the Dark Princess? Who can get the favor of General D? But isn't it said that the daughter of the Dark Princess is in the human realm? Xiao Ruabai felt that this idea was a bit scary. If she was really the daughter of the Dark Princess, then wasn't she the granddaughter of the Ghost King? Moreover, with her current identity, There was no need to mention how awkward and dangerous it was for her to be in the ghost realm. Gongzi Yuan shrugged. They didn't know the reason for this. No matter what her identity is, she is the person we recognize, isn't she? He said. Look at General D and Lord Mou. I advise you to put away your little thoughts. If they know, I don't know what will happen. Xiao Ruobai reminded. A trace of loss flashed in Gongzi Yuan's eyes. He said faintly, I didn't think of anything. I just treat her as a friend. That's the best. Xiao Ruobai snorted. Otherwise, don't blame me for not reminding you if something happens. I know. Gongzi Yuan said and turned to leave. Xiao Ruobai sighed and followed. In the pavilion, Sima Yue made a cup of tea for each of them. Mou was obviously in a good mood after drinking the long-lost tea. Deja was not very interested in tea. After taking a sip, he put it down and asked, When did you come to the ghost realm? Why didn't you contact me? Mou also looked at her and said something that shocked Deja. How did you die? Chapter 1779. In 1 second, she remembered, Love Divided by You? Read book web no pop-up window. Free to read. How did she die? Deja grabbed Sima Yue's hand. You're dead. Of course she's dead. Mou said. I left a trace of my consciousness in her body. As long as she comes to the ghost realm, I will know. Now that she's been here for so long, I don't know. If she's not dead, what is she? But a dead soul won't have any memories. Yue, you're not dead, right? Deja did not believe it. Actually, yes and no. Sima Yue said. What's going on? Deja asked. I met with something in the ghost realm and died. My spirit left my body, but I was saved by someone. But my spirit and body have been separated, so my body can't wake up and I can't go back. If you want to talk about it, I'm considered a ghost. Sima Yue said. So you're saying that you're a spirit? Sima Yue returned to her spirit form. Her body was transparent and could not be caught. Then she condensed her body and returned to her usual appearance. Seeing the doubt in their eyes, she smiled. I met with some luck before, so I can condense my body without using my spirit power. Who killed you? I'll take revenge for you. Deja saw her smile and felt his heart ache. Myself. Sima Yue said. What? Deja looked at her with a complicated gaze. How could you be so stupid to kill yourself? Even Mou had the same expression in his eyes. You're amazing to be able to kill yourself. Cough cough. Sima Yue looked at the two of them and explained softly. You can't blame me for this. I didn't want to do it. Refill the tea. We'll listen to how you did it. Mou placed the teacup in front of her. Sima Yue. She refilled the tea for the two of them, then told them about her body and the sage pavilion. Still stupid. Mou commented. Why are you so stupid? Deja looked very disappointed. You killed yourself for someone else. There won't be any more tea if you two continue. Sima Yue threatened. Deja wasn't a big fan of tea. Mou felt threatened and changed the topic. Then how did you become Morongshis? It was a coincidence. Sima Yue sighed. The real Morongshi was killed by those people. It just so happened that when she was being hunted down, I also came to the ghost realm to try my luck. Then we met at Atavistic Orchid Mountain. We were both hunted down and fell off the cliff together. She died, and I was brought back by father. I became her. She actually caused you to fall off the cliff? Deja punched the stone table. This Aniheim, I really want to kill her more and more. As he spoke, he looked at Mou and said, It's all your fault. Sima Yue looked at Mou. Did you send those people? Wu Kui looked for them, but he didn't stop them. Deja snorted. This guy was so attentive to Yue. He liked the tea she made, so he wanted to give her some eye drops. Who asked you to be so stupid to kill yourself, and just happened to go to that place at this time? Mou said. Sima Yue was speechless. In the end, it became her fault. Wait for 2 days and go back with me. Deja said. I'll go back and give you a good supplement. You'll be able to improve your strength soon. No. I can't go with you now. Sima Yue refused. Why? You're not on good terms with Aniheim now, and you're a public figure. You'll definitely be watched by a lot of people. If I go with you, it won't take a few days for people to know that I came to the ghost realm. She explained. You know how much Aniheim wants to kill me to avenge you. I don't have the strength now. If she knows, there'll be a lot of trouble. I can protect you too, Deja said. But in order to save Mother safely, it's better that we don't let Aniheim know, Sima said. Actually, as long as the Ghost King acknowledges you, you don't have to worry about Aniheim. Mou reminded her that he still had a grandfather. The Ghost King used to love Mother a lot, but didn't he also suppress her to the abyss of hell? Sima pursed her lips. I don't believe that he will acknowledge me. She didn't have a good impression of the Ghost King. She even hated him. He was the one who personally captured her mother and suppressed her to the abyss of hell. Thinking of this, she was filled with hatred. Grandfather actually still loves Aunt, Deja said. It's just that sometimes he can't help it. Sima looked at him. That's not what you said the last time we met in the Immortal Land. At that time, he also resented the Ghost King. I found out some things, Deja said. Grandfather did this to protect Aunt. Protect? I think he's just using protection as an excuse to protect his own face. Sima snorted. If we didn't suppress Aunt, she might have already died, Deja said. Mou knew the situation at that time. Sima looked at Mou and he nodded. That's true. If we didn't agree to suppress your mother, she wouldn't have been able to escape. So many people are pressuring him? Many people want my mother to die? Her words were cold. Who dared to bully her mother? She would definitely let them know why the flowers were so red. Don't be rash. Deja saw Sima reaction and was really afraid that she would run off to take revenge. Someone who can make the Ghost King hesitate is definitely not someone to be trifled with. Before I have the ability, I won't do anything stupid. I'm not stupid, Sima said. But after I save my mother, at that time, an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. This temper of yours. Deja was speechless. Remember to bring me along when the time comes. Okay, Sima replied. Tell me first, who are the people? Is he involved? She looked at Mou. If he was, yes, she couldn't beat him now, but she could cut ties with him and not give him tea leaves. She would deal with him when she had the ability in the future. Deja wanted to say something more, but seeing that he didn't panic at all, he didn't have the mood to do so. There was no sense of accomplishment. This guy didn't pressure him, but he just watched from the side and didn't help. However, if he was involved at that time, I'm afraid that even if grandfather wanted to suppress Aunt, she wouldn't have been able to escape. He snorted. Mou raised his eyebrows. He thought that this guy would hit him when he was down. He didn't expect him to be fair. Alright, it's good that he didn't hit me when I was down, Sima said as she took out a few emerald green tea leaves. I only have these tea leaves now. Mou smiled and opened each of the tea leaves to take a sniff. Her tea leaves were still the most fragrant. He had already drunk all the tea leaves he brought back previously. Later on, there were people who gave him tea leaves from the human world as a tribute, but none of them could compare to her tea leaves. Now tell me, who were the people who wanted to kill my mother? Chapter 1780. In 1 second, she remembered, Love Divided by You? Read book web no pop-up window, free to read. Sima looked at the two of them, waiting for their answer. It's better if you don't know about this for now. If you meet someone from the human world and can't control your anger, it will be troublesome if someone notices, Deja said. Sima glanced at him. If you can control your temper, why can't I? Deja. He seemed to have suffered 10,000 points of damage. Mou chuckled at the side. Alright, speak, Sima said. You know, we have many dynasties. After so many years, some of them have developed very strong. Then some of them joined forces. Deja then said a bunch of dynasty names. Sima remembered them all. Why do these people want to kill my mother? Aunt's talent is outstanding, and she has some conflicts with those people. Her talent is envied by others. Those people also want to see the royal family fall, so they naturally don't want to have such a talented descendant. Only when the royal family falls, those dynasties can become stronger. Deja explained, since you don't want others to know your identity, it's best if they don't know your talent. Otherwise, you won't be able to grow. I know. Sima Yue nodded. You plan to stay here and cultivate? Mou asked. Not necessarily, but I want to continue to appear as Morongxi. At least, before I have strength, this identity is a good cover. Then we'll leave more people to protect you. Deja said worriedly. No need. Since I'm just the daughter of a small duke, not many people will notice me. You'll only make people suspicious. As long as I don't meet an old guy like Mou, I can handle most situations. You? The strength of a underworld fiend master? My strength isn't high, but I have Little Purple. Who is Little Purple? Sima Yue called Little Purple out. When Little Purple saw Deja and Mou, it meowed at them. A kitten? Deja asked. You want it to protect you just because it doesn't have any spiritual energy? Little Z was despised and unhappy. Therefore, someone was in trouble. Meow. Pa. A bolt of lightning landed on Deja, instantly striking him until he was charred on the outside and tender on the inside. Sima Yue. Mou. Little Purple retracted her claws. If you say that again, I'll chop you into jerky. Cough cough. Deja coughed twice and spat out a mouthful of black smoke. What are you? It can even release lightning? Humph. Little Z gave him a slap on the butt. You should be glad that Little Z still remembers you. Otherwise she wouldn't be like this today. Sima Yue said. Purple top grade heavenly thunder? Mou looked at Little Z, his tone uncertain. Humph. Little Z swung her butt again. Little Z knew you before she transformed in my body. We spent a long time together, so she has a deep impression of you. She only used less than half of her power. If she used all of her power, Sima Yue said. She didn't directly answer Little Z's identity, but it was an indirect admission. I didn't expect you to be able to absorb the purple top-grade heavenly thunder into your body and make it transform successfully. This may be the first purple top-grade heavenly thunder in history. With her, you don't have to worry if you don't meet someone like me, Mou said. Is it that powerful? Deja heard Mou say so he looked at Little Z with less suspicion and more doubt. The purple top-grade heavenly thunder is of a higher grade than the thunder punishment in heaven. Although you were struck like this because you didn't have any defense, you can't resist its attack even if you use all of your power, Mou said. It's that powerful. Deja was stunned. Such a kitten couldn't even defeat him? Of course, one of the important reasons is that thunder and lightning have a natural restraint on the ghost clan. It strengthens its power. If you were a human, with your strength, you might be able to hold on for a while, Mou said. Deja. Why did he feel that he was hurt so much today? Since you've decided, then let's do it. He knew her temperament. Since she told them so firmly, she had already made up her mind and wouldn't change it. In order not to attract attention, the two of them didn't stay long in the city lord's residence before they were chased away by Sima Yue. She also ordered them not to send people to protect her secretly. However, it was okay to protect her openly. Why? Deja didn't understand. Wasn't it the same? It's because I look like my mother. You have a good relationship with my mother, so it's normal that you help me because of my appearance. Just like this time. However, because it's just a resemblance, there are no feelings, so this boundary can't be crossed. If you send someone to protect me in private, it's too unreasonable. Sima Yue explained. That's true. Then I'll let paying protect you more. Deja said. Sima Yue knew that Wangya, where she was now, was the person who followed Moronghui. Moronghui was very loyal to Paying. Paying also valued him very much. Otherwise, she wouldn't let him come to Eternal Brilliance City to be the city lord and look for the legendary treasure of atavistic Orchid Mountain. However, although Paying valued Moronghui and treated Morongxi very well, with Deja's instructions, she would be more attentive. Mou was relatively simple. When he left, he only said one sentence. You know what to do, right? Sima Yue nodded. When she was in danger, she could use the underworld skills that Mou taught her before to show that she was the person he was protecting. How many people in the ghost realm dared to touch his people? And those who were not afraid of him would also give him some face. Seeing her nod, Mo's eyes had a faint smile. When the tea leaves are gone, I will come to you. Okay. Sima Yue nodded. He was very sure that she had her own secrets. But he didn't intend to delve into her secrets, as long as there were tea leaves. And Sima Yue knew this, so she wasn't worried. After sending the two away, Moronghui entered her courtyard. Both of them have left. Sima Yue nodded and then asked, Father, do you want to drink tea? Moronghui walked into the pavilion and saw her putting away the teacups that Dija and Mou had used, made tea for him, and put it in front of him. I thought you would leave with them. A class equals __cf email _ref equals /cdncgi/l/ email protection. Datic female equals FA2775BA314F, email protected. I'm father's goddaughter. I want to follow father for a while. Will you drive me away? Sima Yue asked with a smile. Silly child, you can follow father for as long as you want. A class equals __cf email _ref equals /cdncgi/l/ email protection. Datic female equals CF12408F047 email protected. Even if I have to risk my life, I will protect your safety. Then if I get into trouble, will father help me deal with the aftermath? Anyway, I'm used to doing these things. A class equals __cf email _ref equals /cdncgi/l/ email protection. Datic female equals 37EAB877E791. Email protected. However, judging from this incident, it may be more dangerous for you to follow father. Chapter 1781. In 1 second, she remembered, Love divided by you? Read book Webno pop-up window free to read. This time, they all thought that it was done by some county, city or family who had a grudge against them. But they never thought that it was actually someone sent by the Anaheim. Zhu Ying was not on the same side as the Anaheim. If she did not use them, she naturally wanted to eradicate them. If she couldn't touch him, she would touch the people around him. In addition, he had a daughter who looked so similar to Yukoluo, so she naturally started from him. This was even more troublesome when political factors were mixed in. Especially this time, not only did the Anaheim not succeed, but the people sent were also killed. This would definitely attract the attention of the Anaheim, and they would send more people over. Therefore, even if she stayed by Moronghui's side, she would face a lot of danger. With father here, I'm not afraid. Sima Yue smiled. Mu. A class equals __cf email _ref equals /cdncgi/l/ email protection. Email protected. Guess some of the reasons why she didn't leave. There was danger left and right. Compared to her awkward identity, it was better to continue using Murongxi's identity. In that case, from now on, we will be a father and daughter who depend on each other. He sighed. I will need father's protection in the future. The two looked at each other and smiled. There was a kind of affection between them that began to ferment. How did you and the two lords meet? If it weren't for them this time, we don't know what would have happened. We met when we were in the human world. Dija is my cousin, and has a good relationship with my mother. We met in the immortal land and he naturally loves me very much. Because Mou likes tea, he pestered me to discuss the tea art. Then we became familiar with each other. Sima Yue said. Now that they know your identity, I'm not so worried. Moronghui felt that the pressure before was really great. He was afraid that something would happen to her. Now that Dija and Mou were in front of him, he was much more relaxed. At least, their strength was not comparable to his. Father, I'll be safer if I use Shier's identity. You don't have to worry too much. I will cultivate well, save mother and protect you. Sima Yue said. What? You want to go? Muronghui exclaimed, and he managed to restrain himself from saying the following words. Sima Yue nodded. My mother is imprisoned in the abyss of hell. As her daughter, I can't watch her suffer. I wanted to come here when I was in the human realm. Now that I'm in the ghost realm, It's even more impossible to give up. But, Father, I won't act on impulse. I won't do anything stupid before I have the strength. Sima Yue smiled. Don't treat me as my mother's daughter, just treat me as she, as for my identity, I don't think it will cause any trouble in the short term. All right. I'll try to keep myself calm. A class equals __cf email __ ref equals /cdncgi/l/ email protection. Datic female equals E83567A8235D. Email protected. If you have nothing else to do, pack up. When the new city lord comes, we will leave here. Are we going back to the county? Yes. The things here are almost done. There are city and county competitions later, and we need to go back to preside over them. A class equals __cf email __ ref equals /cdncgi/l/ email protection. Datic female equals 994416094A3F email protected. What he didn't say was that Denging also sent a message over, asking him to go back. Someone else would be sent over for the atavistic Orchid Mountain. If Sima Yue knew, she would probably whisper that the treasure had already been obtained by her. How long will it take? She asked. We should be able to arrive in 10 days. Then take a few days to hand over. We will set off in about half a month. So fast? Sima Yue was a little surprised. Even if he wanted to go back, it shouldn't be so fast, right? There are a few other things. A class equals __cf email __ ref equals /cdncgi/l/ email protection. Datic female equals A27F2 to 26,119. Email protected. Was going to say more. It seemed to be something secret. Seeing the housekeeper come in, she said, "You are ready, we may leave in advance." Then she went out with the housekeeper. Sima Yue watched him leave, then poured tea for herself and slowly tasted it. Because they were preparing to leave, the entire city lord's mansion had been bustling recently. There was an endless stream of people coming, but they were all looking for Murong Hui. Sima Yue was cultivating in her yard. Her main focus now was to practice the soul refining art and cultivate her soul body. Only by cultivating her soul body could she unlock the seal and receive the power of the old ancestor's seal. 10 days later, Ting Shan knocked on the door outside and said that Xiao Ruabai and Gongzi Yuan had come. She stopped cultivating and opened the door to go out. Xiao Ruabai and Gongzi Yuan were waiting in the living room. When they saw Sima Yue, they were stunned. We haven't seen each other for only 10 days. Why do you feel different? Xiao Ruabai said in surprise. Am I? Sima Yue looked down at herself. There's nothing different. In fact, she knew that her body looked more real and had more breath of life. It was not as simple as why the old ancestor condensed her body. This was all thanks to the soul refining art. Why are you two here today? She changed the topic and did not let them pursue this issue anymore. We are here to say goodbye, Gongzi Yuan said with some disappointment. Goodbye? Are you leaving? Sima Yue was a little surprised. Aren't you going to investigate the atavistic Orchid Mountain? In fact, both of our families have asked us to go back a long time ago. They asked us to go back and prepare for the region competition. Xiao Ruabai said. Fortunately, we delayed for a while, otherwise, we wouldn't have been able to meet you. The youth exchange had just ended. There would be a city competition next year, and the region competition the year after that. As the genius younger generation of their families, they naturally had to go back early to prepare. Then we will see each other the year after next, Sima Yue said. I'm fine. I'm just going back to the prefecture. When you go back, we can meet again, Xiao Ruabai said. You are also in the prefecture? Then it won't be long before we meet. Sima Yue smiled. You are going back too? Xiao Ruabai was startled, and then reacted. Yes, your father is the prefecture king. He must go back to preside. When are you leaving? My father will be back in 2 days. I was going to leave after saying goodbye to you. Since you are going back, I will go with you, Xiao Ruabai said. I just don't know if it is convenient. Since we are all going back, it should be fine. Ting Shan, Go and tell father and ask if it is okay. Sima Yue ordered. Yes, Mississippi Ting Shan, who was guarding the door, took the order and left. After a while, she came back and said that Murong Hui agreed. Then it's settled. We will go with you. When you leave, just let us know. We are ready at any time. Xiao Ruabai said with a smile. That's great. You two can go together. I have to go alone. Gongzi Yuan sighed. Little Yuan, you have to work hard. When the region competition the year after next, I want to see if you can beat me. Don't worry, I will make you look at me differently. Sima Yue smiled and said nothing. At this time, they did not expect that the person who would make people look at her differently would be her. Chapter 1782. In 1 second, she remembered, Love Divided by You? Reads book Webno pop-up window free to read. 5 days later, Murong Hui brought Sima Yue and the Xiao family back to Vast City. Vast City was the capital of Vast Region. Just like the provincial capital on Earth, it was the political center of a region. Vast City was vast. In addition to the Duke Manor, there were many big families, and the Xiao family was one of them. After rushing for so many days, everyone was a little tired. Xiao Ruabai and Sima Yue made an appointment and went home. Murong Hui returned to the Duke Manor with Sima Yue. Seeing the empty gate, he was furious. Who tore down the gate? He asked angrily. The guards at the gate saw Murong Hui coming back and was so angry that they knelt down one after another. Many people ran out of the gate and knelt down when they saw this. Reporting to the Duke, this gate was torn down by General D. The second butler said while kneeling. General D? Murong Hui frowned. Since he broke it, why didn't he replace it? We replaced it several times, but it was all torn down. What happened? Previously, Lord Mou and General D both came here. Lord Mou lived in the Duke Manor, and then the two seemed to have a conflict. General D often came to the Duke Manor to vent his anger. Later, Lord Mou closed the gate. Every time Great General D came, he would destroy a door. The last time, Lord Mou said that he didn't want to fix the gate, so it was empty. Later, Lord Mou left and didn't say when he would come back, so after the butler explained, everyone finally knew the cause and effect. Sima Yue's mouth twitched. These two guys even tore down the gate. Why didn't they go to heaven? Murong Hui looked at her, and she said helplessly, Fix the gate, they won't come back. Then fix it. After Murong Hui finished speaking, he took Sima Yue back. The people kneeling on the ground were a little surprised. How could the Duke ask for Miss's opinion? Also, Miss seemed to be very different from before. The housekeeper brought some people and hurriedly followed them in. The guards guarded the door well while the others went to find the prepared door to change. This is the front yard, where father handles official business. When you were young, you often came here to play. Every time I asked you to go back, you would cry. There is a lake over there. You used to like to play on the lake, so there is a lake in our place. Over there is. Murong Hui introduced Sima Yue as he walked. The second steward and the others were shocked when they heard this. Why did it feel like the royal prince was showing a stranger around? Old Lin, what's going on? He pulled Murong Lin and asked in surprise. Last time Miss was being hunted down, fell off a cliff, and lost her memory. She doesn't remember the past. Master is taking her to familiarize herself with this place. Murong Lin replied. Sima Yue was not Murong Shi's matter. Murong Hui and Sima Yue had discussed it before. The less people knew about this matter, the better. So he was told not to tell anyone. The second steward was shocked and exclaimed, Eldest Miss lost her memory? Yes. Don't talk about the past in front of Eldest Mississippi. Although she is very different after losing her memory, let the past be the past. Murong Lin said. Miss does look very different, even her momentum has changed. The second steward said. She used to be arrogant and domineering, but now she looks quieter and more calm and confident, as if she has been reborn. After experiencing so many things, there will definitely be changes. Murong Lin sighed. At the same time, he also felt infinite emotions in his heart. If the Real Miss could be as good as her, the master would have worried a lot less before, and maybe she would not have ended up being hunted to death. Although the second steward was very curious about Morongshi being hunted down, he did not continue to ask when he saw that Morong Lin did not intend to talk about it. Anyway, these things he would know when he asked the servants. Morong Hui sent Sima Yue to Morengshi's former courtyard and told her about the layout of the house so that she could understand it. Father will probably be busy in the future. If you want to be familiar with the house and the city, ask Tingshan and Ting Shui. If there is anything, find a few stewards. If you still can't solve it, come to me, Morong Hui explained before leaving. I know, father. Sima Yue nodded and sent him away. Ting Shan and Ting Shui ordered the maids to move Sima Yue's things in, which were actually Morengshi's previous things. Since she had inherited her identity, she had to bring these things back with her. Ting Shan and Ting Shui served Morongshi before, and those things were arranged completely according to Morengshi's style. After Sima Yue saw it, she felt that it was too luxurious and showing off her wealth. She put away all those things and packed them into the warehouse. In the following time, Morong Hui was really busy. Sima Yue did not see him for several days. Especially the cultivators did not need to rest, and the people in and out of the city lord mansion did not stop day and night. When Sima Yue first found out, she thought that it was just because he had just returned to the county and had to manage the entire county's affairs, so he was busy. But later, she found that these people were not simple, and some were even mysterious. Thinking of him suddenly coming back, she felt that things were not so simple. She spent a day to understand the situation here, and then learned about Morengshi's previous life. Hearing Ting Shan and Ting Shui's description, Sima Yue could not help but hold her forehead. Corruption and luxury were her normal state. Flirting with beautiful men was a necessity of life. Being arrogant was her style, and Gui Jianqiu was the impression she gave others. In short, if it weren't for her father and mother who had a strong background, she would basically be like a rat on the street who was hated by everyone. I can only say that fortunately, I have a good background. Sima Yue sighed. Is my father still busy? Yes. This servant went out just now, and when I came back, I saw him bringing someone to master's study. Ting Shui replied. Father is too busy, she said with some heartache. But I can't help much. Anyway, there's nothing to do at home, so I'll go shopping. After saying that, she planned to leave, and it seemed that she did not intend to bring anyone with her. Miss, let us servants go with you, Ting Shan said. You don't remember the things outside. If we go out with you, we can also introduce the situation outside to you. Sima Yue thought for a while and nodded in agreement. If she went out by herself, she would just be strolling around. With them, she could also introduce the situation outside. Thus, she brought Ting Shan and Ting Shui out. When the guard captain saw her go out, he waved his hand and ordered a guard. Go and inform the head butler that Miss has gone out. Should we send people to protect her like before? Sima Yue did not go far, but the guard's words still reached her ears. Her mouth twitched and she quickened her pace to leave. Chapter 1783. In 1 second she remembered, Love Divided by You? Reads book Webno pop-up window, free to read. Sima Yue swaggered along the street. When people saw her along the way, they avoided her as if they had seen a plague. Especially those men. It was not an exaggeration to describe them as fleeing in panic. She walked all the way and found that it was the same situation. She turned to look at Ting Shan and Ting Shui and asked, Was it the same situation when I came out before? No, Ting Shui replied. Am I scarier now? She was speechless. Those people didn't run in the past, but now they ran. In the past, we all came out with guards. Some people ran away, and you let the guards teach them a lesson. Later, when everyone saw that you had guards around you, they didn't dare to run. Ting Shan explained. A group of guards who helped the tyrant. If it was always like this, then how could she go shopping today? She walked aimlessly, thinking that it was not good to go shopping like this. She would be looked at like a monkey on the street. Seeing a house like a tea house next to her, she raised her foot and wanted to go in. Miss. Ting Shan and Ting Shui ran over and pulled her. Miss, you can't go in here. Sima Yue came back to her senses and saw that the people around her looked at her differently. They were not as afraid as before, but with some interest and expectation. Ting Shan and Ting Shui looked at her with fear. "What's wrong? Why can't I go in here?" she asked curiously. "Miss, you were thrown out here before." Ting Shan said. "Since then, you are not allowed to go in here. You will be thrown out every time you enter." Sima Yue was surprised. "Isn't it a tea house? Why can't I go in?" "Well, because you once flirted with the young master from the king's city, Sima Yue." She actually dared to flirt with the young master from the king's city. No wonder even Morong Hui could only let her avoid it. "Miss, if you are tired, let's go to another place to rest." Ting Shan was afraid that Sima Yue would rush in again and grabbed her hand to prevent her from doing stupid things. "Sima Yue," she sighed and said, "let's go take a look at the shop next door." "Okay." Ting Shan and Ting Shui hurriedly took her away, afraid that she would regret it in the next second. The onlookers were all shocked, as if they didn't recognize her. "Is this really Gui Jianqiu?" "I don't think so. Did Ghost's Grimace leave just like that? But look at her, she is indeed Gui Jianqiu. Why do you look like a completely different person? That was too quiet, too easy to talk to. I thought she would teach her maidservant a lesson." I heard that Gui Jianqiu was hunted down in Yongming City and almost died after falling off a cliff. Later on, the regional king saved his life, but his brain was injured and he lost his memories. "Really? Of course it's real. This news came from the Duke's mansion. How could it be fake?" "That seems to be the case. Demon's Grimace seems to have changed." Memory loss can change a person's personality? Whether it has changed or not, it can't be seen for a while. Maybe she's just pretending to deceive us. Then why don't we follow and see? Okay. So many people followed Sima Yue to the opposite shop. On the second floor of the tea house, in a private room facing the street, a handsome man in white heard the words below, and his white hand took a sip of the teacup. "Gui Jianqiu will change? Yuan Yen, do you believe it?" He chuckled. "She will change? Even a sow can fly to heaven." The male lead opposite him was as handsome as him, but his words were much coarser, and it could be seen that his temper was also irritable. When he spoke of Morong Shi, his eyes were full of disgust. "I'm really curious, what did she do to you to make you hate her so much?" The man in white put down the teacup and looked at him with a smile. "Emoji, you are so close to Lord Mou. Why don't you help me kill her? Anyway, with Lord Mou here, those people won't dare to touch you. How about it?" Yuan Yin looked at him expectantly. The man called Emoji smiled. "How old are you? Do you still need others to wipe your ass?" So annoying. I heard that she was not in Liao City, so I came over. I didn't expect her to come back. Yuan Yin said irritably. "I think she's okay. She's a very calm little girl," Emoji said. "Her?" Yuan Yin stretched out his hand in front of him and shook it. "Are you blind?" "Yes, I'm blind to meet you." Emoji poked the knife unceremoniously. "Bad." Yuan Yin retracted his hand and snorted coldly, then looked at the shop across the street that was surrounded by the gate. He didn't know if he saw Sima Yue's figure, or if he thought of what she did to him, but his body couldn't help but tremble. Emoji glanced over there and knew the situation over there, and said, "Didn't you say that she is a waste? Why did she buy so many herbs?" "Who knows?" Yuan Yin was not interested in what Sima Yue bought over there. "Huh." Emoji raised his eyebrows, and his eyes were even more curious. "What's the matter now?" Yuan Yin pulled a long face. Don't think that he didn't know that the reason why Emoji was so interested in Morong Shi was not because she was really good, but because she had once flirted with him. He just wanted to watch a good show. If he had known that he would meet this woman, he wouldn't have brought him here. Emoji looked over there and said, "That shop, the first floor sells medicinal pills and herbs, the second floor is for refining, the third floor is for arrays, and the fourth floor is for spirit stones, right?" "Well, yes. What's the matter?" Yuan Yin didn't even want to look over there. That Morong Shi chose a lot of herbs on the first floor, then went to the second floor to look at the dark artifacts, and went to the third floor to buy some blank array stones. She went to the 4th floor and found that spirit stones were too expensive, so she gave up. Emoji said slowly. Tisk, it's just a waste. She just bought it back and asked someone to help her refine it. Yuan Yen said impatiently. Okay, let's not talk about her anymore. I'm going to lose my interest in tea tasting. Hehe, I think she's quite cute. Emoji laughed. If you think she's so good, go find her. Why are you drinking tea with me here? Yuan Yen said unhappily. Okay, I won't talk about it anymore. If you do it well this time, it will be easy when you go back to the family. Emoji no longer made fun of him and exhorted. You really don't want to talk about it, just drink your tea. Yuan Yen put another cup of tea in his hand and snorted. Aren't I worried about you? I didn't find it, I only found you gloating. Yuan Yen snorted coldly. Am I? At this time there was a noise at the door of the opposite shop, and a flattering voice was heard. Miss, take care, you are welcome to come again next time. Chapter 1784. Remember in 1 second. Love divided by you? Reads Book Web. Update quickly, no pop-up window. Read for free. Sima Yoyue's figure appeared at the door of the shop, followed by a group of people. Seeing the smiles on those people's faces, Yuan Yen curled his lips. Now only these merchants in this city will welcome her. I'm curious, what did she buy those things for? Emoji said. You don't think she bought them for herself, do you? Yuan Yen said disdainfully. There are many professional masters in the Duke's mansion. There are also people who purchase these. Emoji said. She is a waste, she doesn't even have spiritual power. Is that so? But my intuition tells me that she is not that simple. You're not scared by her pretense, are you? Hey, where are you going? Before Yuan Yen finished speaking, Emoji got up and left. I have always investigated the things I am interested in directly. Emoji's voice floated over. And he had already reached the corner of the stairs. Yuan Yen turned his head and glanced at Sima Yue on the street. He was very disgusted and impatient, so he calmed down and didn't move. Sima Yue looked at the people on the street, frowned and said to Ting Shan, let's go back. Oh, look, who is this? When did our waste, Gui Jianchou, return to the city? The sharp voice was full of contempt and ridicule. Sima Yue looked in the direction of the voice and saw a group of men and women walking on the right side of the street, led by a woman in a red dress. She looks good, but her chin is about to rise to the sky, Sima Yue commented. When the people on the street saw this group of people, they all retreated far away. These people can't be provoked. Especially when these two people are together. If you don't want to be implicated, you must stay far away. Sima Yue looked at the approaching group of people, blinked her eyes, turned her head and asked Ting Shan. Who are these flashy people? Everyone. Miss, the most flashy person is the eldest daughter of the Dong family, Dong Qishuang. The others are her lackeys. Ting Shan answered in all seriousness. The Dong family? Did she dare to provoke me? Sima Yue asked. The Dong clan produced a young lady, who is Wang Ye's favored concubine. Ting Shan said. Because of that concubine, the Dong clan's status in vast region also rose a lot. In the past, she used to bully Mississippi. But because you don't want Master to confront the Dong family directly and make things difficult for Master, you don't allow us to tell Master every time she bullies us. Because of this, she became even worse. A favored concubine. Sima Yue dragged her words. Have you heard of this saying? What words? Sima Yue smiled faintly. Her red lips parted slightly. When a man achieves the Tao, his friends and family will ascend to the heavens as well. Although their voices weren't loud, they weren't soft either. Anyone with spiritual power could hear them clearly. Morongxi, what do you mean? Dong Qishuang had just walked in front of her. When she heard this, her face twisted in anger. You can't even understand such simple words? Sima Yue asked with a smile. There is a saying that you need to eat more to make up for it. It seems that you need to eat more pig's brains. Oofed. It was the first time that those people had heard such a curse. They felt that Morongxi's IQ had increased a lot. Emoji had just arrived at the door of the tea house. When he heard this, he stopped and did not continue to go over. He stopped in place and looked over there. You dare to call me brainless? How could Dong Qishuang not understand her meaning? You are the brainless one. Who is and who isn't? Everyone can see it very clearly, right? Sima Yue chuckled. One was angry and impatient, the other was calm and elegant. Who was and who wasn't? Wasn't it clear at a glance? Dong Qishuang tried to calm herself down, took 2 deep breaths and snorted coldly. I didn't expect that after staying in the corner of the mountain for a while. Your mouth has become so sharp. No, I've always been like this, but I was too lazy to pay attention to you before. Sima Yue said. I think I was wise before. I don't need to pay attention to people like you. It's a waste of my time. Talking to her was a waste of time? Sima Yue didn't want to talk to people like her anymore. So she said to Ting Shan and Ting Shui, let's go back. Stop. Dong Qishuang went up and stopped in front of her. What? Sima Yue raised her eyebrows. I didn't provoke you today. If you fight with me, you are the one who is in the wrong. Even if I beat you half to death, your family won't dare to say anything? You do have a good relative, but don't forget, my father is the duke, and you are still under my father's jurisdiction. Didn't provoke me? You called my Dong family chickens and dogs. Isn't this provoking me? Dong Qishuang said fiercely. In your words, even if I beat you half to death, your father won't dare to say anything. Are you stupid? Sima Yue rolled her eyes at her. I just happened to say such a sentence today. When a man achieves the Tao, his chickens and dogs also ascend to heaven. Did I say that the chickens and dogs are your Dong family? Maybe I'm talking about him. Maybe it's her? Why are you in such a hurry to put this hat on your Dong family? If you really think so, you can let me stay. If you don't think so, a good dog won't block the way. After saying that, she bypassed Dong Qishuang and left. Ting Shan and Ting Shui hurriedly followed. After passing through the crowd, the two finally couldn't help but laugh. Miss scolding people like this was much more handsome than when she was angry and smashed things. When Dong Qishuang reacted, Sima Yue had already gone far away. She gritted her teeth and shouted, Sima Yue. Sima Yue just turned the corner with Ting Shan and Ting Shui, leaving everyone a cool back view. Emoji stood at the door and thought for a while, but he didn't go up to look for her. From where he stood, he just saw Sima Yue turn the corner and look back at him. What a keen little girl. When Yuanyan saw him coming back so quickly, he raised his eyelids and glanced at him. Didn't you go to look for her? I have achieved my goal. Emoji sat back in his seat. Ha. Yuanyan raised his eyebrows. Didn't you not see her? But I already know. Emoji said. Although it may only be 4 or 5 points, I can be sure that she is not the person you are talking about. Yuanyan saw that he was so sure, and he also had some doubts. Judging from her performance just now, the difference is indeed quite big. In the past, she was always angry and bullied by Dong Qishuang. She never scolded people with such a sharp tongue. Maybe her amnesia really changed her personality. Emoji said with a deeper meaning. If only that were the case. She wouldn't pester me anymore. Yuanyan snorted. Emoji lowered his head to drink tea, and a faint smile appeared on the corner of his mouth. Can a person's amnesia really change their personality? Is it a person? He was very curious about what it would be like to really come into contact with her. Maybe the plan can be changed. Chapter 1785. In 1 second, she remembered. Love divided by you? Read book web quick update. No pop-up window. Free to read. Sima Yue brought Ting Shan and Ting Shui 2 streets away. After making sure that no one was chasing after them, they heaved a sigh of relief. Phew, luckily they didn't chase after us. Sima Yue heaved a sigh of relief. Miss, aren't you not afraid? Ting Shui was stunned for a moment when she saw Sima Yue like this. How am I not afraid? There are only 3 of us, and they have so many people. If we really fight, we will be beaten up. Although we won't die, it will hurt. Sima Yue said. If we can avoid being beaten, then we won't be beaten. Hee, that's true. Ting Shui laughed. But miss, why did you buy so many medicinal herbs and array stones? There are medicinal herbs in the residence. The ones I bought are all low-ranked herbs. I'm taking them back to practice. Sima Yu said. Practice? Miss, you want to refine pills? Yes. Miss, this alchemist. What kind of pills do you want? Just tell the alchemist in the residence. Refining pills is a very dangerous thing. Let's not do this. Ting Shan said. Don't be afraid, it's very simple. Sima Yue didn't think deeply about her meaning, thinking that she was just afraid of the furnace exploding or something. But miss, if you want to refine pills, you have to be able to cultivate first. Ting Shan said again. Sima Yue stopped in her tracks. Yes, what you said is true. We have to cultivate first. Ting Shan was afraid that Sima Yue would suddenly have a scary idea like before, so she wanted to strangle Sima Yue's idea of refining pills in the cradle. When she heard her say this, she thought that she had convinced her, but before she could be happy, she was shocked by Sima Yue's next words. However, we can prepare the things first and practice in 2 days. Ting Shan. Miss, are you sure you're not teasing me with that serious look on your face? After returning to the Duke Manor, Ting Shan found some free time to find Morong Hui, and told him that Sima Yue wanted to refine pills. After listening, Morong Hui thought for a while and said, let her do what she wants to do. If she needs anything, you can tell the manager and let them prepare. Ting Shan thought that Morong Hui would stop it, but she didn't expect that he didn't care. Although he was puzzled, he didn't say anything. Master, alchemy is very dangerous. Do you really want eldest miss to learn alchemy? Morong Lin asked. She knows. She won't take the risk for it. A-class equals __CF email _ref equals /CDNCGI/L/ email protection. Datic female equals BA6735 FA710F. Email protected. She still had so many things to do. How could she put herself in danger? Moreover, he heard that she was very powerful in the human world, so she should also know how to concoct pills. After spending so much time together, he had some understanding of her. She was not the kind of silly person. After Sima Yue went back, she asked Ting Shan and Ting Shui to clean up a room and set it up as an alchemy room. Then she locked herself inside and didn't come out for 2 days in a row. She didn't even eat, which alarmed Morong Hui. When she came out of the alchemy room safe and sound, what she saw was the person guarding the yard. Father, why are you here? She asked in surprise. Wasn't he very busy? I heard that you didn't come out for 2 days. They thought something happened to you. A-class equals __CF email __ref equals /CDNCGI/L/ email protection. Datic female equals 2BF6A46B09E. Email protected. What are you doing inside? Nothing, I just saw those medicinal materials and my hands were itchy, so I forgot the time. Sima Yue said. It's okay. Morong Hui nodded. Father, I have something to tell you. Sima Yue looked at him. It was obvious that she wanted to talk alone. Morong Hui waved to the people in the yard. After everyone went down, he asked, what do you want to say quietly? Father, what do you think this is? She took out an array stone. Array stone, what's wrong? It's just that this array pattern is a bit strange. Morong Hui was not an array master, so he could only recognize it. Father, stand still. Sima Yue asked him to stand still, then took out a few array stones, arranged an array around him, and then injected her little soul power into it. Black light flowed, and as the array started, Morong Hui felt the spiritual power around him getting stronger and stronger. He was shocked. Sure, this is the array. Is it the legendary spirit gathering array? He looked at the array stones, and it was difficult to hide the excitement in his heart. Vast Region had always been ranked in the middle of their dynasty. The main reason why their strength could not increase was that their spiritual power was thinner. If he had this, then he could quickly train some people. This is just the simplest spirit gathering array. Sima Yue said, this range is small, so it seems to have a good effect. But if it is enlarged, the effect will not be so good. Morong Hui was not disappointed. You said that this is the simplest spirit gathering array, then there are better ones, right? Yes. But that kind of array stone is better, and secondly, it's best to find the spirit gathering pearl. If we can have this, The effect of the spirit gathering array can be multiplied several times. Sima Yue said. This spirit gathering array is not so easy to find, right? What does it look like? Murong Hui asked. I really don't know about the spirit gathering pearl in the ghost realm, Sima Yue said. But I think if you look for it, you should be able to find it. Well, I'll order people to look for it in a while. A class equals __cf email _ref equals /cdncgi/l/email protection. Datic female equals 24f9 ob 64 yef 91. Email protected. Sheer, this is really timely. With the spirit gathering array, we can get a better ranking in the region competition in the year after next. More than 2 years should be enough. So father already has a candidate now. Sima Yue saw him so happy, and a smile appeared on her face. There are 3 people who don't need to go through the region competition, and are directly selected. They have been trained by father over the years, and their talent and strength are far superior to others. They are my trump card in this region competition. A class equals __cf email _ref equals /cdncgi/l/email protection. Datic female equals 79A4F639B2CC. Email protected. Originally, I was not confident, but with your spirit gathering array, they have improved a little more in the past 2 years, and we have a better chance. Sima Yue nodded. Since we are going to participate in the region competition, then we have to seize every second. Father, you find some high-level array stones first. I will arrange a better array first, and then let them cultivate inside. When we find the spirit gathering pearl, we will arrange a better one. Okay. But it's best to keep this matter a secret, and arrange the array in Hibiscus Court? Murong Hui suggested. The Hibiscus Court here was the same as the Hibiscus Court in Eternal Brilliant City. They were all places where male companions used to live, and there were still several people living inside. A class equals __cf email _ref equals /cdncgi/l/email protection. Datic female equals 21f61f69d. Email protected. Prepare to let them go, and then arrange a place for cultivation. Sima Yue had no feelings for Hibiscus Court. She felt that everywhere was the same, so she agreed. So, Murong Hui quickly went to find a high-level array stone, and asked her to arrange it in Hibiscus Court. However, she felt nothing, but the 3 geniuses felt insulted. Especially when they were brought to Hibiscus Court without knowing why. Their faces were livid with anger. Chapter 1786. In 1 second she remembered, Love Divided by You? Reads book Netno pop-up window free to read. Sima Yue was setting up a formation in the yard, and when she turned her head, she saw 3 black faces. She raised her eyebrows. How did these 3 people come so quickly? She hadn't even finished setting it up yet. Miss, what do you mean by this? We are going to participate in the region competition as contestants. It's impossible for us to be your concubine. That's right. Although you are a miss, we are not people of the mansion, nor are we people you casually snatch from the outside. You are insulting us by doing this. We must go to the Duke and ask him clearly, what the hell does this mean? Before she could speak, those people angrily scolded her first. Sima Yue rubbed her nose. Did you guys get it wrong? What's wrong? Didn't you ask people to bring us here? Isn't this the place where you keep your concubine? I really didn't ask you to come now, Sima Yue said innocently. She just asked the housekeeper to inform them to come over later, who knew that they would come so early. You're still quibbling. Forget it, Ziping, don't waste time with her. Let's go to the Duke and ask for an explanation. You're right, let's go to the Duke. The 3 people finished speaking and were about to leave, but just as they turned around, they saw Murong Hui coming in. Duke. Facing Murong Hui, although there was no aggressive momentum, although they were still very angry, they still respectfully saluted. Murong Hui saw that the 3 people were very angry and asked, What's the matter? He looked at Sima Yue, who shrugged her shoulders, curled her lips and didn't speak. Duke, this hibiscus court is the place where Miss Guan keeps her concubine. What does she mean by bringing us here? Don't tell me she wants us to be her concubine. The man named Gu Ziping was the most impulsive and questioned directly. What concubine? She, or didn't ask you to be her concubine? No? Then why did she call us to hibiscus court? The three people were stunned. If Sima Yue said no, they would not believe her. But now that the county king had said so, they were a little doubtful. This matter is of great importance. The three of you have to swear not to tell anyone. Morong Hui stared at the three people. All three of them were cultivated by Morong Hui. To put it bluntly, their lives were his. Not to mention keeping today's matter a secret. Even if they were asked to be mutes for the rest of their lives, they would not say no. Don't worry, Duke. If we tell anyone about what happened today, we will be struck by lightning. The three of them swore together. Unlike the human realm, the people of the ghost race were even more afraid of such oaths, because the heavenly Tao would cleave them clean when they broke the agreement. After Morong Hui and the other three made an oath, Morong Hui said, "We will arrange a spirit gathering array here, which can attract spiritual power from other places and speed up your cultivation." Spirit gathering array? The three of them looked at Morong Hui in shock. Duke, is it the legendary spirit gathering array? Yes. This spirit gathering array has been lost for a long time. If it is announced, you all know how big a wave it will cause. Morong Hui knocked on their heads. The county competition is about to begin. A stable environment is conducive to your cultivation. With this spirit gathering array, your cultivation will definitely be twice the result with half the effort. Don't waste such a good opportunity. The three of them were excited. They didn't expect that they would be able to use this spirit gathering array one day. We will cultivate well, and live up to the Duke's cultivation. The three of them said in unison. Morong Hui was very satisfied with the attitude of the three people. Duke, I have one thing I don't understand. Why do you want to arrange a spirit gathering array here? Gu Ziping asked. Naturally, it is to avoid people's eyes and ears. A class equals __cf email _ref equals /cdncgi/l/email protection. The people locked up here have been secretly released. However, no one else knows about it, and no one will know that you are the ones living here. So that's how it is. It seems that I really misunderstood. The three of them scratched their ears, then saluted to Sima Yue and said, "Miss, I'm sorry. We misunderstood you before and were rude to you. Please punish us. Remember to give others a chance to explain next time." Sima Yue didn't generously say that it didn't matter, but the three of them knew that they were wrong and could change their attitude. "Shir, have you arranged it?" Morong Hui asked. 2 arrays have been completed. The last one is a little bit away. Sima Yue said. I was about to do the last bit when they came in. Only then did Gu Ziping and the others notice that she was still holding 2 array stones in her hand. Because they were too angry just now, they didn't notice it. Duke, this array was arranged by Miss? Yes, otherwise why do you think she is here? A class equals __cf email _ref equals /cdncgi/l/email protection. Datic female equals 01DC8E41 cab 4. Email protected. Miss is an array master? They hadn't heard of it before. Some things it's better not to hear rumors. Sima Yue lectured. Although she and Morong she hadn't spoken, she was still Morong Hui's beloved daughter and her own godsister. Father, I'll go and get the rest done. Go. Morong Hui said with a smile. He found that as long as he was recognized by her, she would fall in love with him. Gu Ziping and the others were a little unconvinced after being taught a lesson. Although they hadn't had much contact with Morong Shi, they had heard a lot. She was an array master. She even knew the long-lost array? This was too impossible. But when they saw Sima Yue really holding the array and arranging it, the three of them felt that her lesson was right. It was better not to hear rumors. Sima Yue arranged the array and consumed a lot of energy. Her small face was a little pale and her complexion was not good. Morong Hui felt distressed seeing this. Father, inject your spiritual power here. Sima Yue pointed to a place and said. Her strength was very weak, and that pitiful amount of spiritual power was not enough to activate such a large array. Moronghui came to the place where Sima Yue was, and injected his spiritual power. The array was activated and covered the front room. Then Sima Yue asked him to activate the other 2 arrays. There are 3 rooms in this house, 1 for each of you. Sima Yue said, when my strength increases, I'll upgrade your arrays. Thank you, Mississippi. Sima Yue didn't embarrass them. Instead, it made their previous behavior seem too rude. Moronghui saw that her eyes were absent-minded and said, take the pill first and then go back and have a good rest. You've been tired for more than 10 days for this array. Sima Yue took the pill and said discouragingly, my strength is too low now. If my strength increases, it will only take 1 or 2 hours to arrange this array. I miss the days when I had strength. Chapter 1787. In 1 second, she remembered, Love Divided by You? Read book web no pop-up window free to read. Sima Yue returned to her courtyard. It was too difficult for her to set up such a big array. Fortunately, this only consumed her spiritual power, and she could recover after a rest. I don't know if the previous cultivation methods are useful. She muttered to herself. Fortunately, my spiritual power is stronger than the average person, otherwise, I really can't hold on. I remember that every time I used to recover, my spiritual power would increase a lot. Maybe it can be used now. I say, when are you going to find a mineral vein for me to recover my strength? Mi-er came out and stood in front of her bed. He crossed his arms in front of her chest and looked at her discontentedly. My strength is still so weak, I just entered the condensation stage. I can't do anything. Sima Yue said. And this mineral vein is not cabbage on the street. You can get it whenever you want. The mineral veins that have been developed have already been released. It's useless for us to go. Of course I know this, I'm not stupid. Mi-er glared at her. You're not stupid. Sima Yue said. You didn't think about this before. Why did you suddenly mention it now? Humph. Mi-er snorted, turned around and ignored her. This woman, now she didn't even think about helping him to recover his strength. Sima Yue saw him like this, suddenly sat up and looked at him with shining eyes. Do you know where there are undeveloped mineral veins? Humph, you're a little smart. Mi-er was happy and turned to look at her. Then do you know where it is? If there's news, let's go now. Sima Yue was excited. If Mi-er could recover his strength, then she had nothing to be afraid of in the ghost realm. I don't know. Seeing her disappointed eyes, he added. But I sensed it. You didn't sense it when you were in atavistic Orchid Mountain, but now you sensed it. Does it mean it's nearby? It's not very far. Mi-er said, but I feel that a lot of people are going there. I think your father is going there too. Could it be that this is what Dad has been busy with recently? Sima Yue supported her chin with one hand. If it's a mineral vein, it's definitely worth it for him to rush back. You have to help your father find that vein first. Only then will you have a reason to go in openly. Mi-er said. Actually, if you ask me, you should just go up and devour that force. How good would that be? You'll be discovered by others. Sima Yue sighed. When I recover my strength, I'll go and rescue your mother. What do you think? That way, you won't have to keep thinking about it. We still don't know where mother is being suppressed, so we have to find the Ghost King. But now is not the time. Sima Yue laid back down. Also, Lin said that only if I go, I can save mother. Sigh, so troublesome. Mi-er looked at her speechlessly. No matter what, restore my strength first. Okay. Sima Yue closed her eyes. I'll talk to Dad about this when I wake up. Before she could finish her sentence, she had already fallen asleep. Mi-er rolled his eyes. When he was about to go back, Little Black pushed the door open. His small body squeezed in through the gap of the door, with a skeleton flute in his mouth. Little Black, you're playing around with this thing again. If you lose it, you will let Little Purple hack you. Mi-er threatened. Little Black placed the skeleton flute on the ground and called out to Mi-er. Then he picked up the flute and went to play with it. When he was tired of playing, he put the flute on his stomach and it disappeared. He patted his stomach with satisfaction. It was filled with his toys. If not for him, Yu Yu's things would be sealed. That was why she wouldn't blame him. Me air face-bombed. Why do I have the same contractor as you? It's such a sad thing. Little Black jumped onto Sima Yoyue's bed and faced him with his butt. Then he found a place to lie down and sleep. Me air sighed and returned to Sima Yoyue's body. Sima Yue slept for 2 days. Ting Shan and Ting Shui received her orders and didn't dare to disturb her. 2 days later she finally woke up. However, it wasn't because she had enough sleep but because she was hungry. She touched her rumbling stomach and said regretfully, "If I had known, I would have eaten something before sleeping." Without the spirit pagoda, the food she ate now wasn't that delicious. Especially those chefs' culinary skills. Although they were much better than those outside, it couldn't cover up the fact that the food they made was unpalatable. However, she had to eat even if it was unpalatable. She got up and Ting Shan and Ting Shui, who heard the commotion, quickly came in. Ting Shan, help me wash up. Ting Shui, go to the kitchen and see if there's anything to eat. Get some for me. Miss, I'm starving to death. Sima Yue ordered. Okay, this servant will go now. Ting Shui bowed and turned to leave. Ting Shan helped her wash up, and Ting Shui brought the food back. Where's my father? Master went out this morning. Before leaving, he came over and asked this servant to tell Miss that he may not be back for a few days. Ting Shan replied. Did he say what it was about? No. Sima Yue nodded, indicating that she understood, and then sat down to eat. She didn't know if Murong Hui's departure was related to the mineral vein. As the Duke, he must have a lot of things to deal with. Since he would only be away for a few days, she would wait in the house. Ting Shui heard movement outside, went out for a while, and then came in and said, Miss Xiao is here. Ruabai is here? Let her take her to the living room. Sima Yue sped up her eating speed and quickly cleaned up the things in front of her. It wasn't that the food was delicious, but that she was too hungry. After she finished eating, she went to find Xiao Ruabai. Xiao Ruabai was looking at her living room. When she saw her come in, she said, Speaking of which, this is the first time I've entered the Duke's mansion. You're welcome to come often in the future. Sima Yue walked over, sat beside her, and asked, Are you almost done with your family? Yes. I've been away for a long time. By the time I'm done with those things, it's been so long. Xiao Ruabai sighed. I heard that you and Dong Qishuang quarreled? It's been a few days. Sima Yue did not deny it. When I heard about it, I thought you were quite good. You scolded people without swearing, and she couldn't refute. When a man achieves the Tao, his chickens and dogs ascend to heaven. Your words are really appropriate to describe the Dong family. You came here today to praise me for scolding people well. Of course not. I'm here to take you shopping. Xiao Ruabai said. Sima Yue looked at her, smiled, and said, It shouldn't be as simple as shopping this time, right? What other purpose is there? Chapter 1788. Remember in 1 second, Love Divided by You? Read Book Web. Update fast, no pop-up window, free to read. Seeing her firm eyes, Xiao Ruabai suddenly smiled, shook her head, and said, I really can't hide anything from you. Sima Yue raised her eyebrows, so there was really something. Do you know that there have been a lot of outsiders in Vast City recently? Xiao Ruabai asked. I don't know. Vast City is the prefecture of Vast Region. It's normal for there to be outsiders, right? Sima Yue disagreed. If that's the case, my grandfather and the others won't be so nervous. Xiao Ruabai sighed. Actually, they asked me to come over today to see if you have any news here. But I think you just came back, so you don't know anything. So I proposed to walk on the street. Maybe you can find out some news. If you can get the news by walking around, won't they know why? Sima Yue said. That's true, Xiao Ruabai said. But since we're here, let's just go shopping. You're not familiar with Vast City, right? I'll take you to familiarize yourself with it. Xiao Ruabai said. Sima Yue didn't refuse. She didn't go to many places last time. Now that Murong Hui was not at home, it was good to go out. When Ting Shui heard that she decided to go out, she went to report to Murong Lin. Murong Lin didn't care about Sima Yue's itinerary, but knowing that she was going outside, he would pay more attention to her safety. When they were about to leave the yard, Little Black ran out and barked twice at Sima Yue. "You play at home," Sima Yue said with her head down. "Woo woo woo." Little Black bit the corner of her skirt, looking like he wouldn't let her go if she didn't take him. This little guy is still like this. Xiao Ruobai saw Little Black's shameless look and missed him being silly in atavistic Orchid Mountain. "No," Sima Yue said. "What if you don't behave when you go out?" "Woo woo woo." "No." "Really?" Little Black nodded vigorously. "All right then." Sima Yue agreed. Little Black immediately let go of her skirt. Blackie usually played in the residence, so it was his first time out on the streets. Everything he saw was new to him. He scratched here and there, as if he was a human. Sima Yue and Xiao Ruobai followed behind and looked at it speechlessly. However, it only went around and didn't do anything to hurt others, so it didn't care. People on the street were angry when they saw Little Hay causing trouble, but they didn't dare to say anything when they saw Sima Yue following behind. The spirit cloth in this shop is quite good. Let's go in and have a look." Xiao Ruobai took her to a shop that sold clothes. "All right." Sima Yue called Little Hay back and brought it into the shop. Xiao He was so fast that the people guarding the door couldn't stop him before he rushed in. Sima Yue and Xiao Ruobai were stopped outside. "My young miss is inside. You can't go in." The person at the door stretched out his hand and said with a cold face, "The door is open. Why can't we go in?" Xiao Ruobai was a little surprised and looked at a waiter on the side. The waiter knew Xiao Ruobai and Sima Yue. He hurried forward and explained with a smile. "Princess young Miss Xiao, I'm really sorry. Today, young Miss Dong came and booked the entire shop, so business is suspended today." "Suspended? When did your iridescent clouds pavilion start to be booked?" Xiao Ruobai asked. It's not a booking. My young master is entertaining a friend." The waiter explained. "One moment, you said that young Miss Dong booked the whole place, and the next moment, you said that your young master is entertaining a friend. Your words don't match. Do you think we are easy to fool?" Xiao Ruobai said with a cold face. "Young Miss Xiao, don't be angry. I'm not talking nonsense. Our iridescent clouds pavilion usually doesn't allow people to book the whole place. It's because young Miss Dong is a friend of my young master that we gave her face and let them book the whole place." The waiter smiled apologetically. "I'm really sorry about today. Come another day. Our shop has a 20% discount." "Young Miss Dong? Dong Qishuang?" Sima Yue asked. "No, Dong Qishuang doesn't have such a big face. With such a big lineup, I think most likely Dong Qilian is back." Xiao Ruobai snorted coldly. "Only that woman likes to pay attention to these things. Who is Dong Qilian?" Sima Yue asked. "Young Miss Dong, Dong Qishuang's sister. She has the best talent among the younger generation of the Dong family. She has a good relationship with the Dong family's concubine, and often runs to the prince's mansion to stay. When we first came back, I heard that she was still in the prince's mansion. I didn't expect her to come back so soon," Xiao Ruobai said. Before Sima Yue could finish her words, there was a scream from inside. "Ah, where did this dog come from? Kill it for me." Then there was a chaotic sound and Xiao Hei's cry. "Kill it! Kill it for me! What are you still doing? Don't you know that my sister hates dogs the most? Why did you let that dog in?" Dong Qishuang's voice was as sharp as ever. "Young miss, second young miss, we don't know how it got in. We will drive it out now. What are you rushing for? Kill it on the spot." A female voice gritted her teeth. It sounded like Dong Qilian. Yes. Sima Yue and Xiao Ruobai heard the movement inside and rolled their eyes helplessly. "I forgot that Dong Qilian was chased by many stray dogs when she was young, so she hated dogs since she was young. When she saw Xiao Hei, I'm afraid," Xiao Ruobai said with some worry. "Woof woof woof." Xiao Hei's cheerful cry came, as if he was not hurt by so many people inside. Xiao Ruobai saw that Sima Yue did not intend to go in, so she was not anxious and asked, "Aren't you worried about Xiao Hei?" What's there to worry about? It won't be the one who will suffer. Sima Yue was very calm. Xiao Ruobai wanted to ask where she got her confidence from, but listening to the movement inside, it seemed that Xiao He was indeed fine. Wasn't Xiao He an ordinary dog? Was it so powerful that it could escape from so many people inside? Bang, bang. Ah, the people inside were in a mess, and the people guarding outside were worried and ran in to help. Now that no one is stopping us, let's go in and take a look. Sima Yue strode in after saying that. What kind of dog is this? How can it be so fast? Every time they were about to catch it, it could slip away. Was such a speed really something a dog could do? Are you all a bunch of trash? So many people can't deal with a dog? Why did my Dong family raise a bunch of trash like you? Sima Yue walked in and saw Dong Qishuang and a woman who looked similar to her, and a very good-looking man standing on the side. In the shop, a group of people fell to the ground, and a few were chasing Xiao He around. You're tuning into the Echoes of the Heart YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.